Welcome to the fantasy audiobook, Cultivation of Immortality by All. Load golden entries at the beginning. Chapter 1. Qingyan Prefecture, Linhai City. On the playground of Daomen School on Wangshan Road, several foundation building monks were setting up formations. Today, more than 200 students who meet the requirements will undergo the Destiny Awakening in a unified manner. Classmates. The principal stretched out his hand and played an amplification note, and suddenly his voice was the only voice remaining in the entire operation. After 3 years of study, you have mastered all the basic knowledge on the journey of cultivating immortality. But before you can officially embark on the path of cultivating immortality, you still have one last hurdle to pass. That's the awakening of destiny. For that matter, the students present already fully understand it, and there is no need to say anything more. It has been some years since Changqing traveled across time. This world is integrated with the immortal cultivation game. Everyone can awaken their destiny when they reach adulthood and obtain entries of various colors. Gray, green, blue, purple, gold. Entries with different colors naturally have different attributes. Gray entries have ordinary attributes, and even if they are awakened, they may not be able to embark on the path to immortality. The golden entries have the best attributes, and any one of them can lead to great achievements, such as building the foundation and forming elixirs, and even cultivating the nascent soul, which will ensure immortality for thousands of years. There are dungeons and secret realms here where you can get training materials. There are monsters and evil spirits outside the city, which can strengthen your cultivation. Once you become a monk, you can strengthen yourself and improve your cultivation and realm through various methods. Qi refining, foundation building, golden elixir, nascent soul, spirit transformation, void refining, body integration, Mahayana. Even if it's just the most basic Qi refining, you can also use flying swords, talismans, and magic weapons to have many incredible abilities and completely escape from the mortal world. At this moment, the formation has been successfully arranged, and the principal also said, "Let's get started." Everyone lines up to do it. Destiny is destiny. Even if it is gray, don't be discouraged. There will be a destiny in the future. The students lined up in a nervous mood. Changqing, what destiny do you plan to awaken? Zhou Yue, the best friend next to him, asked. How about at least a green entry? Changqing didn't want to bet on the odds of the gray entry. If he wasn't given the cultivation qualifications, it would be over and he still wouldn't be able to practice. Haha, Zhou Yue joked. Be bold and just ask for a golden one, it's not too much. Depend on. Changqing cursed lowly and thought to himself. As a time traveler, I still don't even have a system, and I can't even speak forcefully. Zhou Yue continued. The colors of destiny are all metaphysics. To be honest, I still want to get a fire root. When the time comes, I pinch the magic and the flames will burn the sky. It will be so cool, it will be so cool. At this time, the first student to go up had already stepped into the formation and completed his awakening. Chen Siwei, green entry, good at boxing. Oh who? Chen Siwei waved excitedly to his classmates, obviously very satisfied with this entry. That's it. The boxing qualification is +10, which means you are qualified to embark on the path of cultivation. If you can have blue, it will not be impossible to kill monsters with boxing and build a foundation in the future. I'm envious. I don't ask for much, just give me someone who is good at using a sword. To be honest, Changqing's request is at this level. After all, in addition to the color of Tianming, there are also great differences between each entry. Swords, guns, fists, 5 martial arts qualifications. Metal, wood, water, fire and earth are the 5 spiritual root qualifications. This is the destiny most suitable for cultivation. Even if the color is poor, only green, it will be favored by large sects. Next one, Yu Junline, gray entry, is a decent man. As soon as these words came out, the classmates all looked sighing. Righteous cultivation level +50, personal charm +50, no cultivation attributes at all. Tisk tisk, if he were a woman, with +50 charm and outstanding looks, he might still be able to earn a living, but it would be a pity. Not necessarily. There are still many female nuns nowadays, and decent people like him are actually quite popular. The classmates didn't know whether they were comforting or joking, but they made Yu Junline lose his temper. Next, everyone came to the stage one after another to wake up. Some people were not satisfied after getting the green earth spirit root, but they were relieved a lot until they saw others getting the blue fortune teller. Fortune teller, very good, ha ha ha. Zhou Yue was still laughing before he came on stage, but he stopped laughing the next second. Green entry, little Dantong. Puff. After Zhou Yue was stunned for a second, he vomited 3 liters of blood on the spot. I even took the Taoist title, Master Liehuo. But you asked me to make an elixir, poof. Bang bang. Lu Changqing patted his wings twice. Green is good, it's very environmentally friendly. Finished. Lu Changqing was about to step into the formation, but the principal stretched out his hand to stop him and turned around. The quality of today's awakening is too poor. Nangong Lee, come and try. Hear the name. Lu Changqing didn't waste any words and took a few steps back. The other students also stretched their necks and looked over. Tisk, tisk, is this the little princess of the Nangong family? People who come from a family that cultivates immortals have been taking various elixirs since they were young. Even if they don't have destiny, they can still rely on elixirs to embark on the path of cultivation. A large number of female classmates showed envious expressions. Look at her skin, it's so supple and tender. Even if you are good looking, the key point is that you have a very good temperament, like a fairy. Wow, if she awakens a charm affix now, I'm afraid she can become an immortal, right? Woo, I don't want to practice cultivation, give me a golden national beauty and heavenly fragrance, the entry that will overwhelm the country and the city. Lu Changqing watched Nangong Lee step into the formation. Follow closely. Pieces of elegant purple condensed light sprinkled the formation. Wow, purple, really purple, oh my god, she is so good, how can she still awaken the purple destiny? The principal's eyes finally showed a look of satisfaction and he announced loudly. Nangong Lee, purple entry, Bingshe smart. Intelligence plus 30, charm plus 300, ice attribute spiritual root qualification plus 30. Quiet. As soon as the attribute of the entry came out, the entire playground fell silent. The next second, the playground exploded with a bang. Comprehension, this is the best entry attribute. The difference of 10 points in understanding is a huge difference in the efficiency of cultivation. The mental method that others can master in a few months, but you may still be ignorant after 30 years of retreat. With 30 points in one go, I can probably master the ordinary green mental technique in a few weeks. The key is that not only does she have charm, but she also has mutated ice spiritual roots. This attribute makes me want to cry. Awesome. This is so cool. The rarest comprehension bonus, and also the mutant spiritual root. I'm afraid there will be no pressure all the way to foundation building, right? Princess Lee, please help me form a team to play the game, please. Nangong Lee just smiled slightly and didn't express any expression of envy and group seeking from his classmates. But it was this smile that once again made the whole playground boil. One smile can captivate a city, another smile can captivate a country. Beautiful. Princess Lee is the most beautiful. Some students were so fascinated by it that they drooled from the corners of their mouths without even realizing it. Lu Changqing was the closest and could see it most clearly. The moment when destiny awakens. Although Nangong Lee's appearance did not change much, his indescribable temperament immediately improved to a higher level. Her face and figure, which were already beautiful, now look as if they were made in heaven, and they are peerless. She was born to be outstanding, but now she was already a little otherworldly, and she was banished to the world. Sorry to keep you waiting. Nangong Lee nodded politely to Lu Changqing, gave up the formation position, and motioned for him to go in and awaken. Lu Changqing did not hesitate. It was a dragon or an insect, this was the fight. Whoosh. First a mysterious light flashed through, without any color. Follow closely. The entire formation lit up with a dazzling golden light. What the hell? Withdraw. Withdraw money. Zhou Yue looked at all this in disbelief. We finally have a golden entry at the gate of Wangshan Road. The students were even more excited than before. After all, the little princess of the Nangong family, whether she has a destiny or not, can change her destiny against the will of heaven. Ordinary people can't. A golden destiny can really change the life of ordinary people. Be loud. In the future, if Lu Changqing can really absorb the golden elixir and cultivate into nascent soul, the entire Linhai city will benefit. Envy, I'm so jealous. Please, give me more money, please. HMPH. I'm not sure what attribute it is. The number of golden entries appears rarely, and there are still many unlocked entries. Some people are envious, while others are jealous. Haha, if it was about charm, it would be funny. The principal's hands were shaking with excitement. Golden, really golden. The property is. The principal's pupils suddenly dilated, and he was stunned in front of the formation. What entry? The principal is so scared that he can't speak. Isn't it some unnatural attribute? Could it be that he is the reincarnation of a great power and comes with a golden mental method at the beginning? Or maybe it's the human holy body, with all attributes plus 3. Could it be a Taoist spirit body? Next to the formation, several foundation building monks stepped forward to take a look, but they also looked shocked and confused. Golden legend. All entries encountered are golden. Puff. What's the use of this? Is it just that when destiny awakens, I will give you a golden entry? This. Tisk, tisk, tisk. I can only say that the world of cultivating immortals is full of wonders, and we have learned a lot today. The principal's heart bleeds when he hears this. It took a lot of effort to get a golden entry, but this is the result. Simply, gold for gold's sake. Too simple. Don't you want gold? For you. But sorry, it's only gold, without any attributes. The principal was still unwilling to give in and rushed to Changqing. Quickly, open the panel and show me. I don't believe that this dazzling golden entry cannot add any attributes. Changqing was still confused and didn't understand what the entry was. Hearing what the principal said, he immediately reacted. Panel. Changqing. Realm. Mortal. Destiny entry. Golden legend. Health. 100. If the health value reaches 0, you will die. Spiritual power. 100 consumed when using spells. Spirit. 100 consumed when using magic weapon. Comprehension. 36 affects the speed of learning mental skills, martial arts, spells and other skills. Attack. 8 basic physical attack power. Defense. 5 basic physical defense. Movement speed. 15 base movement speed. Physical immunity. 0. Spell immunity. 0. Unknowing blow. 0. Comprehension magnification. 0. Martial arts qualifications. Sword 0, knife 0, spear 0, boxing 0, odd 0. Spiritual root qualifications. Metal 0, wood 0, water 0, fire 0, earth 0. Skills and qualifications. Alchemy 0, weapon refining 0, talisman and seal script 0, beast control 0, kimin bagua 0. It's over, it's all over. The principal looked at the rows of zeros on his qualifications and looked up to the sky with a long sigh. The foundation building stage next to him analyzed the attributes for a while. Comprehension is 32, and the normal maximum is 50. If it's below 30, you're a fool. Attack 8 points, normal 10 points, no increase. Physical strength, spiritual power, all are basic values. The rest. Several foundation building monks looked at each other. Do they need to say the rest? All zeros. Golden legend. All the entries encountered are golden. Changqing himself was silent for a while looking at the entry. A long time. Still can't accept it. Principal, besides the awakening of destiny, are there no other possibilities for encountering entries? Hey. The principal looked at the unwilling young man in front of him and couldn't help but sigh. Although, life does encounter entries more than once. But apart from the first destiny, you can only encounter a change of destiny when you break through the golden elixir realm. Golden elixir. Changqing knew that the golden elixir was too far away, but after all, there was no chance at all. At least, as long as he can practice to change his life, the entries he encounters will definitely be golden. A strong group. The steady golden color can change your life, isn't it delicious? You can't. If you want to change your life again, you should give this kind of entry with no attributes, right? Impossible. Principal Lee, you'd better not mislead him. The foundation building monk on the side said, he doesn't have any qualifications. If he wants to practice, he can only take medicine. Just one chi refining period is a natural barrier for him. When it comes to the big threshold of foundation building, I have no idea whether it is possible to succeed. Yes, if he has some understanding, it doesn't take much. Even if he has more than 40 points, there may be a large sect willing to spend a lot of resources to cultivate it. But now, he only has 36 points of understanding. What does that mean? It means that any time he breaks through, there is a 99% chance of failure. That's it, you still want the golden elixir. Stop making trouble. Even if you give him 1,000 years of life, he still won't be able to practice the golden elixir. How could the principal not know this? He could only nod silently. There is nothing wrong with mortals. Life is like this. How can everything go as you wish? Okay, you can go down first. Lu Changqing frowned and wanted to ask, but in the end he didn't speak and turned around silently. Seeing this, Zhou Yue hurriedly stepped forward to comfort him. It's okay, brother, I'm the one who refines medicine, and I promise to feed you until you reach the golden elixir stage. Puff. Lu Changqing couldn't hold it back and said with a smile, didn't you hear the seniors in the foundation building stage say that even a large sect would not dare to invest like this? Forget it. Don't talk about cultivation from now on. If you treat me as a brother, then refine the medicine carefully. When the time comes, I will work for you. Remember not to deduct my salary. Ha ha ha. Zhou Yue patted his chest and promised, don't worry, as long as you have one mouthful of brothers, you will never starve to death. The two left the scene talking and laughing. If another classmate wakes up, he is too lazy to take care of it. This classmate, please wait. Outside the school gate. Lu Changqing and Zhou Yue turned around at the same time and saw Nangong Lee running over in a Celadon Taoist robe. Princess, do you have any business introduction? Upon seeing this, Zhou Yue immediately joked. Tell the truth. With my alchemy talent and the resources of the Nangong family, it's more or less a perfect combination of two swords. Nangong Lee shook his head with a smile and turned to Lu Changqing. The golden destiny is extremely rare. Looking at the entire Linhai city, it is rare to see it in 100 years, so you shouldn't give up easily. How about this? Let's form a team together. Maybe when we go to the dungeon and see the monsters, we will find that your destiny will be different. Hiss. Without waiting for Lu Changqing's reply, Zhou Yue immediately exclaimed, if a mortal downloads the dungeon, he won't die, right? No, Nangong Lee said calmly. I have learned the water condensation spirit technique before, and with the addition of magic weapons and some elixirs, it is no problem to clear the novice copy alone. The aristocratic family is so powerful. Even if there is no destiny, can she also become an immortal? Okay, Zhou Yue agreed without thinking. No need. Lu Changqing shook his head and said, the difficulty of the novice copy is still there. Nangong should find some strong teams to form a team with. Zhou Yue was so anxious that he came over to stop him and said in a low voice, brother, Princess Li invited us to form a team. How many people came and couldn't find this place? Why don't you go if you don't want to go? No. Lu Changqing looked determined. Nangong Lee was not annoyed when he heard this. He just smiled and said, it doesn't matter. There is still a month until the assessments of the major sects. I have been quite free recently. If you are interested, you can contact me at any time. Follow. Nangong Lee then submitted a friend application. When Lu Changqing saw this, he couldn't refuse anymore, so he could only agree. On the road, Zhou Yue is still upset that he didn't succeed in forming a team. Okay, hurry up and go back to practice elixir later. The sect selection does not only recruit monks, alchemists are also recruited. After Lu Changqing finished speaking, the two separated at the intersection. Back home, no one. His father, Lu Mingyuan, was on the 8th level of the Qi refining stage and worked as a team leader in an ore factory with a monthly salary of 3,000 spirit stones. Mother, although Su Wei has no cultivation level, she has Grey Destiny, medicinal material recognition, and has a fairly easy job in the alchemy workshop, with a decent salary of 2,000 spiritual stones per month. With this income, although life is not rich, there is not much pressure. But when it comes to practicing, it is far from enough. Actually, it's not like you can't live without embarking on the path of cultivation. At the very least, I can still find a job and make a living. Think of this. Lu Changqing opened the window and looked beyond the floating clouds. There are monks flying with swords. There are monks who control the spiritual crane. There is also an elegant male monk who rides on a flying boat, performs magic tricks with his hands, gathers the wind and condenses the clouds, just to win the beauty's smile. Depend on. Lu Changqing slammed the window shut and drew the curtains. I wanted to breathe a sigh of relief, but I found out that we are separated by two worlds. If you don't set foot on the path of cultivation, then mortals will always be mortals, and they will never be able to touch the world of immortal cultivators. Even if both live under one sky. But this city takes on a completely different look because of the different ways you open it. Practice. I don't believe it. Does cultivating an immortal require destiny? Lu Changqing felt so uncomfortable that he turned around and locked himself in the room. Take out the secret book. Wind-cutting sword technique. Slashes a sword-shaped infuriating energy towards the target in front, causing 110% of the basic damage. Quality. Gray. Consumption. 6 points of spiritual power. Cooldown. 0.5 seconds. Training requirements. None. It has been more than a year since Lu Changqing got this swordsmanship book. Watch it every day and practice every day. However, the progress so far is still not more than half. The teacher said it. Swordsmanship qualifications and understanding can increase the probability of understanding and the speed of practice. If you have no qualifications and your understanding is lower than 40 points, it is not recommended to try to practice. Just wait for the awakening of destiny. But now, if you don't have a destiny, you have to practice hard even if it's not recommended. My destiny is up to me. Lu Changqing yelled in his heart, opened the function interface, inserted martial arts, and clicked comprehension. Basic bonus. Enlightenment efficiency plus 5%. Tip. Adding low-grade fine stones can increase efficiency by 30%. 1 low-grade fine stone, 1,000 spirit stones. Lu Changqing really couldn't afford it, and even if he could afford it, he wouldn't buy it. Is 30% more useful? The practice experience points have been stuck at 44 100ths for more than 3 months, and they haven't been touched since. The essence stone increases the efficiency of cultivation. If the basic efficiency is too low, or even 0, even if you increase it by 1000%, it will be a drop in the bucket. Bite. While you were meditating on the technique, the golden entry was loaded. What? Can this also be used to brush golden entries? Lu Changqing wiped his eyes and looked at the retreat interface. The original comprehension efficiency plus 5% disappeared, replaced by a line of shining golden fonts. Understanding is against the sky. When you are meditating, your comprehension plus 100. When comprehending, comprehension plus 100. Lu Changqing even couldn't believe it. Although it is only the effect of enlightenment. But is this different from directly reaching 100 points of comprehension? When I don't understand, what do I need that understanding for? Is it just that the panel looks good? Could it be that the true meaning of all entries are golden? Every entry is golden. That's more than just enlightenment. In this world where the game of cultivating immortals merges with reality, everything is not an entry. There are entries for retreat. The copy has entries. Equipment has entries. Even after practicing mental techniques and martial arts, there are entries. Hiss, don't panic yet. Lu Changqing took a deep breath. Comprehension and qualifications are different. The qualifications are all 0 at the beginning. If you don't awaken, your destiny will not increase. Lu Changqing didn't know why Nangong Lee was able to practice. It was most likely some kind of sky-high price pill, right? And understanding cannot be 0, that is brain death. If you are below 30 points, you are a fool, you forget everything you see, and it is impossible to learn anything. Above 30 points, every 1 point increase will have obvious effects. Most people are between 31 to 40. Breaking through 40 points is considered smart. Breaking through 45 points, that's genius. Full value 50 points, that is a once-in-a-century genius. Purple Destiny can increase your understanding by up to 50 points. Even if you were originally a fool, you can awaken and become a once-in-a-century genius. 100 points of understanding. Let's not talk about how strong it is, just think about how to achieve this value. First, you must have 50 points of full innate value, and then awaken 50 points of the purple destiny of understanding. In this way, you can reach 100 points of understanding. How low is the probability? Certainly, golden destiny can also directly gain 100 comprehension points. But that's called enlightenment. According to legend, this destiny was only awakened by a peerless power thousands of years ago. Therefore, 50 points of full innate value, plus 50 points of purple destiny. As everyone knows, it is the only way to reach the limit of 100 points of full understanding. Anyone with 100 points of understanding is as dazzling as a genius. But, Lu Changqing directly received full points of golden destiny. Current understanding. 0.136 points. Try first and then talk. Lu Changqing calmed down and officially began to comprehend. How did the peerless genius achieve enlightenment? Lu Changqing didn't know. But now, the circulation of meridians in the swordsmanship moves and the methods of controlling the true energy have all become extremely simple. Spiritual power that could not be mobilized in the past. Now they are all like well-trained soldiers, hitting wherever they are directed. The experience bar is soaring. 51 hundredths, 61 hundredths, 91 hundredths. Bite. Perception is successful. You have understood the wind-cutting sword technique. Phew, so fast. Lu Changqing heard the prompt and woke up from his meditation. Turn around. What is outside the window is already the scenery of glazed lights. Look at the time again. It was already past 7 o'clock in the evening. Time flies so fast during enlightenment. When Lu Changqing understood before, time was as slow as if he had released his slowness. I can't practice at all. Now that one day has passed, the swordsmanship is understood. To know, Lu Changqing has been mastering this swordsmanship for more than a year. 10 months of hard training is not as good as one day now. Lu Changqing finally understood. Why does cultivating immortality pay attention to immortality, talent, and qualifications? Something. You really can't force it. Continue. As soon as Lu Changqing finished speaking, his stomach rumbled. Pity. Before you can live without food, you still have to eat. Get up. The door creaked open. His parents were waiting for him on the sofa next to the dining table. Chinger, how is your destiny awakening? Su Hui's eyebrows were a little anxious, but there was still a smile on her lips. All right, okay. Lu Changqing didn't know what to say. If all entries could be turned into gold, that would be too powerful. It is stronger than the simple understanding, and it is more than a little stronger. But now, Lu Changqing himself was not sure, so he couldn't tell his parents directly, lest they would be overjoyed in vain. But, his words of, okay, immediately dimmed the expectant light in his parents' eyes. It's okay, come over and eat. Su Wei quickly called Lu Changqing to sit at the table. The awakening of destiny is determined by destiny and cannot be interfered by human power. Besides, even if you can't practice, it doesn't really matter. As long as you work hard, you will eventually be able to live. Phew. Lu Mingyuan took a long breath and silently lit a cigarette. If you really want to take that path, I still have some savings at home, so I can use them to help you learn martial arts. If you can learn them within a month, you might be able to find a team. Clear the novice copy. The novice period lasts for 3 months. Only during this period can you refresh the novice copy. If you can catch it, you can earn a certain amount of training resources. When the time comes, with the resources to break through the chi refining stage in one fell swoop, it shouldn't be difficult to find a job again. Lu Mingyuan had a lot to think about. He knew that this method was actually gambling. The tens of thousands in savings the family has saved over the years are not enough, and they may need to borrow money. And even if you smash them all in, you may just get nothing out of a bamboo basket. However, for the sake of the children, even if it is a gamble, you must give it a try. Lu Changqing's heart tightened. Dad, actually. Don't worry about the Mind Stone. Lu Mingyuan shouted. What are you saving money for? Isn't it just for your cultivation and enlightenment? I didn't use it before because there was still a chance of destiny, but now, I can't save it anymore. Well, Lu Changqing wiped the tip of his nose with some embarrassment. Actually, what I want to say is that I have just understood the swordsmanship. Swordsmanship comprehension. Lu Mingyuan stood up suddenly, with disbelief in his eyes. Well, then you just said that destiny is not good. Lu Changqing was even more speechless. I told you, it's okay. Fine. Is this okay? Lu Mingyuan frowned secretly. Do you understand your vocabulary incorrectly? What comes out of his son's mouth is okay, shouldn't it mean that everything is screwed up? Okay, do you want to play tricks with me? Explain. What kind of destiny is this? Lu Changqing still didn't know how to explain. It's hard to say what destiny is for the time being. Anyway, I have understood the swordsmanship. What's hard to say? Lu Mingyuan obviously didn't understand. I know the progress of your swordsmanship. If you can master it in one day, it must be the destiny of your swordsmanship qualifications, and the quality is not bad. Well, at least green, maybe even blue. Seeing that Lu Changqing didn't want to say anything, Su Wei hurriedly pulled her over. It doesn't matter whether it's green or blue, as long as Qinger can understand the swordsmanship, then he can get the job. Come on, Mom has always felt that you, kid, are too young to be beaten. There is a chance of immortality, and I might become a real person with golden elixir in the future. Ha ha ha, Lu Mingyuan laughed heartily when he heard this. What are you thinking? Is the golden elixir something ordinary people can cultivate? As long as we can break through the foundation building, even if our ancestral graves are smoking green. Eat, Su Wei ignored it and just pulled Lu Changqing to sit down. With the understanding of swordsmanship as a foundation, this meal can be regarded as eating with laughter. Lu Changqing returned to the room to continue. Open the comprehension interface again. The golden entry that was just refreshed is still there. Once it's printed, won't it be changed? No matter. Lu Changqing looked at the swordsmanship experience bar. 0-100ths. Comprehension is just the beginning. The next breakthrough in understanding can be regarded as a beginner's introduction, and you can have your first martial arts bonus. Think of this. Lu Changqing's heart moved again. Martial skill bonus can also be considered an entry, right? If the martial arts entries were also golden, then my destiny is truly unparalleled in the world. Start. Lu Changqing's mind was disturbed by the possibility of new entries. But just click to understand. Under the heaven-defying understanding of 136 points, the whole person immediately entered the state of enlightenment. 100 skill experience points. As the night gradually disappears, we come to the end together. Bite. With successful understanding, your wind-cutting swordsmanship has entered the beginner's level. Lu Changqing immediately clicked on the panel. Wind-cutting sword technique. Slashes a sword-shaped infuriating energy towards the target in front, causing 120% of the basic damage. Consumption. 6 points of spiritual power. Cooldown. 0.5 seconds. Beginner's entry. Attack power plus 5. Lu Changqing's eyes lit up. There is an entry. Increase the attack power by 5 points, but I don't know. Bite. While you were studying the Wind Zonying sword technique, you loaded the golden entry. The next second, the introductory entry of Zonfeng sword technique flashed with pieces of sword light. Look again. Wind-cutting sword technique. Slashes a sword-shaped infuriating energy towards the target in front, causing 120% of the basic damage. Consumption. 6 points of spiritual power. Cooldown. 0.5 seconds. Beginner's introduction. Extraordinary sword power, attack power plus 100 points. Lu Changqing was not too excited, but let out a long sigh of relief. It's done. Golden legend, everything you see is gold. Aha! Lu Changqing stood up suddenly, pointing his right hands together in a sword gesture. Whoosh! A particularly thick touch of cyan energy instantly condensed on Lu Changqing's sword finger. Now, all he needs is a thought. This sword energy with extraordinary lethality can easily cut dozens of meters away. This is the sword technique of the Qi refining period. Don't look at the pitiful attack power, only a few points. To know, this is a sword energy attack triggered by spiritual power. No matter how rubbish it is still a pure method of cultivating immortality. Take action. It can stab the sword energy and kill the enemy dozens of meters away. Coupled with the 0.5 second cooldown, it's terrifying just thinking about it. The demon is not close yet. He had already been killed by the sword energy that was continuously stimulated. Look back, isn't 100 points of attack with extraordinary sword power still too little? In addition to the basic 8 points of attack power, there is a 120% sword skill bonus. A sword energy. The basic lethality is 130 points. Lu Changqing's own life is only 100 points. Dealing with mortals in his own realm. A sword hit means death. Even if there is a few points of defense, it will have no effect at all. Must kill instantly. This is the meaning of extraordinary sword power. The world of cultivating immortals, right. I am coming. The clouds in Lu Changqing's heart yesterday were swept away at this moment. Now that I'm a beginner in swordsmanship, I should be qualified to go to the novice dungeon, right? Still, continue to learn swordsmanship to the next level. Getting started, 100 experience points. Quite skilled, 200 experience points. Small achievement, 500 experience points. Quite proficient, 1000 experience points. There are only 4 levels of martial arts and mental techniques in the chi refining stage. For Lu Changqing, it is 4 golden attributes. But had previous experience. Lu Changqing also somewhat understood the role of golden destiny. Although they are all golden, these entries are all related to themselves. For example, cultivation is an entry for understanding. Swordsmanship, on the other hand, is an attack entry. So if it's mental magic, weapons, magic weapons, or even elixirs, what kind of entries will be given? No more practice. Next book. Compared with studying for 2 or 3 days to get an entry, it's better to leave the book and go to other places to see if there are any new entries. Although Lu Changqing's current understanding is considered a genius, it still takes a lot of time to practice. After all, it is a swordsmanship for cultivating immortals, not some wild ball boxing. Let an ordinary person come and understand. No chance in life. Even geniuses with some understanding still need to study on a monthly basis. There is no time to cultivate immortality, but it has been thousands of years in the cave. The road to immortality is vast, and the most consuming thing is time. Rumor has it that many great powers possess many heavenly materials and earthly treasures, elixirs, spiritual herbs, cave heavens and blessed lands, and countless spiritual stones. Even so, their enlightenment must be calculated on a yearly basis. So, why are you so fast? Could it be said that your understanding is high, even higher than those of great powers? Joke. Since people can become powerful, there's no way he's a fool, right? If you take advantage of them being old, gray, and amiable, call them seniors, they won't pick on you. But if you had taken advantage of him when he was young, would you dare to say that he was not a genius? Then he really wants to compete with you and compete with you. The path to immortality. Disaster. It's hard to reach the sky. Lu Changqing now has a golden destiny, but he cannot slack off and dare not slack off. After all, it's just the beginning and there is nothing. Novice copy. It's the best opportunity. Just leave. Lu Changqing didn't even think about bringing anything with him, so he just changed into a dry green Taoist robe and went out. The entrance to the novice copy of Linhai City is in Diengxian Square in the east of the city. On weekdays, no one will come here. But today, it was extremely lively, and the crowds were all young people. So many destiny to cultivate immortality. Lu Changqing looked at the probability of awakening yesterday. The probability of cultivating the destiny of immortality was only 30% at most, and most of them were gray and green. Even if those fates with little bonuses are awakened, they should seize the opportunity to meditate. Why do they always come to the dungeon? Evergreen. I thought you really weren't coming. Zhou Yue was bored when he suddenly saw Lu Changqing and immediately ran over excitedly. What are you doing here? Lu Changqing asked in surprise. Think of it as the next one, Zhou Yue said to the crowd. Don't talk about me, I'm afraid most of the graduates in Linhai City are here. Yeah, what are they doing here? Lu Changqing still didn't understand. Aren't you willing to give in? Zhou Yue let out a long sigh. Man, who doesn't want to fly with a sword and be free and unrestrained? Women, who doesn't want to have eternal beauty and live forever? The novice copy can only be entered after the destiny is awakened, and it is only open for 3 months. If after 3 months, you still cannot collect enough materials and resources to break through the chi refining period, then your path to immortality will be completely cut off. Because you can't beat the dungeon in the chi refining period. However, the cultivation level of monsters in the wild fluctuates and is extremely dangerous. It is not a place that mortals can go to. In fact, the novice copy is more of a benefit. The difficulty is average, but the profits are all materials that can be used to sell spiritual stones. So, even if many students have not received the destiny of cultivating immortals, they will come here to make money, try their luck, and have a chance to become immortals. But they have neither cultivation nor martial arts skills, so it would be really difficult for them to form a team. Have you formed a team? Lu Changqing thought for a moment and asked. Hey, you have a team, how can I not? Zhou Yue said, his eyes turning very quickly, and he immediately spotted that otherworldly figure in the crowd. Haha, welcome to the captain. Are you thirsty? I have a spiritual spring. You want to rest? I brought maza. Good guy. Lu Changqing saw his amazing operation and said, good guy, repeatedly. Nangong Lee was slightly surprised when he saw Lu Changqing was there, and said, classmate Lu, you are here too, shall we go in? Us. Lu Changqing waved his hand quickly. Sorry, I don't form a team. What? A huge question mark immediately popped up on Zhou Yue's head. Nangong Lee's delicate body trembled, and her pretty face turned into a faint blush of embarrassment. It's over. What a shame. There were few people there yesterday, so if you don't get an invitation, forget it. There were so many people in the dungeon plaza today, and many of them were classmates, but they were rejected again. Since he didn't form a team, why did he come? As the little princess of the Nangong family, she is so charming that she is a hot spot wherever she goes. Soon, someone discovered what was going on here. Princess Li, if you want to form a team, you should tell me earlier. I am the Purple Gun King Tianming. The speaker was Han Chao, a classmate of several of them. Just didn't expect it. After leaving yesterday, he actually awakened the purple destiny. Who said I'm going to form a team? Nangong Lee was surrounded by classmates. The embarrassment on his face gradually dissipated and turned into anger. He muttered, threw off his robe and left. Han Shu was sullen, but was turned away. Naturally, he was a little unhappy. When he looked at Lu Changqing again, he felt that the other party was laughing at him. HMPH, you are the Lu Changqing who awakened the most rubbish destiny in history, right? In the past, Lu Changqing might have endured such a harmless provocation. But today, Lu Changqing took a breath and raised the corners of his mouth slightly. It's none of your business. Han Shu obviously did not expect Lu Changqing to retort. His face suddenly turned red, and he gritted his teeth and said, what bullshit golden legend? You don't have any destiny added to your attributes, but you still want to brush up your base. Everyone listen. From now on, whoever dares to bring this guy to brush his books will be in trouble with me, the Gun King Han Shu. Purple Destiny. The descendant of the Gun King. No matter which school he is placed in, he is still a top-notch person. In the future, if you are admitted to a famous righteous school and become an immortal, you may become a powerful being. Everyone knows he can't be offended. The smarter ones start fawning early. Zuo Heng and Heji immediately stood up and threatened. You have all heard what the Gun King said. If anyone dares to lead him to form a team, don't blame us for being rude. Overbearing. However, even if he is so domineering, no one dares to speak out. Because in this world, mortals cannot fight with immortal cultivators. The weak cannot fight with the strong. Although there are no express restrictions, it is a rule that must be followed. Anyone who dares to mess around will never end well. Funny, Lu Changqing is now focused on practicing and is too lazy to waste time here. He walks directly to the entrance of the dungeon. You are so sentimental, who the hell told you that I am going to form a team? As soon as he finished speaking, Lu Changqing disappeared into the square before Han Shu could speak. He writes the book alone. Not to mention the others were surprised, even Zhou Yue didn't expect it. Okay, very good. Han Shu gritted his teeth and said, you two are watching here. If he doesn't die in the dungeon, stop him when he comes out. I can't tell, I have to let him know today. My Spear King, Han Shu, is so awesome. Bite, you have entered the novice copy. Basic bonus. Number of spirit stones dropped plus 5%. Bite. When you enter the dungeon, the golden entry is loaded. Wait for a golden light to flash. Lu Changqing finally saw the attributes of the entry. Essential for liver protection, materials dropped by you when you kill monsters x10. 10 times the material. Lu Changqing secretly thought, Sha Ben is indeed right. Cultivation of Immortality emphasizes both qualifications and resources. For example, even if a princess from an aristocratic family like Nangong Lee does not have a destiny, she can rely on her astonishing wealth and resources to change her destiny and embark on the path to immortality. To understand martial arts and spiritual methods, you need fine stones. To improve your cultivation and break through the realm, you need spiritual stones and elixirs. The world of cultivating immortals. All materials are useful. And the more the better, there is only too little and never too much. Now, a golden entry can load 10 times the material. It means that one book you brush is equivalent to 10 books written by others. Saves so much time. Not only does it protect the liver, it simply prolongs life. Increasing life is equivalent to increasing the time for cultivation and enlightenment, which is almost equivalent to more cultivation and a higher realm. Comfortable. If you brush this entry, it's called a masterpiece. Lu Changqing was in a comfortable mood, but he did not forget the danger. The place in front of me was a quiet forest with no signs of monster activity. Keep going. Next to a piece of rubble, there was an elf tree demon with an eye so red that it was almost crazy, staring at the intruder. Puppet Wood Demon. Life, 70 to 100 points. Defense, 9 to 12 points. Attack, 5 to 10 points. This demon will only use branches to beat the enemy, and may even hit the enemy at close range. All it takes is long-range martial arts and spiritual methods to slowly strangle it. Lu Changqing didn't play around in school, so he still remembered these basic knowledge clearly. After thinking about it, he pointed out the secret. Cut the wind. Lu Changqing pointed his finger casually, and the thick green sword energy in his hand turned into a stream of light and rushed out. As the most basic swordsmanship, Lu Changqing saw his teacher use it more than once. Ordinary wind-cutting sword energy. 2 fingers wide and less than 1 meter long. It can attack targets within 30 meters at most. But this sword energy of his own. It is as wide as the palm of your hand and more than 3 meters long, making it look extraordinarily thick. The sword energy passed through the forest, pierced the air, and directly hit the eyes of the slow-moving tree demon. Phew! The sword energy seemed to be piercing into soybean milk, passing directly through without stopping at all. Minus 118. The moment the damage number appeared, the tree demon also fell to the ground with a cry. At the same time, several rays of light cyan light emerged from the body of the puppet wood demon, followed the path of the sword energy, and disappeared into Lu Changqing's eyebrows. Bite. You defeated the puppet wood demon at the first level of qi refining and gained 3 points of cultivation. Lu Changqing glanced at the progress. 3 1,000ths. With such cultivation efficiency, it seems that breakthrough in refining qi is not a problem. Lu Changqing was inevitably a little excited. Although the sword power is extraordinary and the attack power is definitely enough in the novice copy, I didn't expect it to be so simple. Lu Changqing took a few quick steps and walked to the body of the puppet wood demon. He saw a pile of materials falling beside it. Bite. You got the puppet wood x50. You have obtained wood spirit crumbs x20. You have obtained spiritual stones x180. Puppet wood is the main material of medicine and can be used to refine weapons. Each piece is worth 10 spirit stones. Wood spirit fragments are basic spiritual energy materials that can be used to make elixirs. They can also be used when practicing exercises. Each piece is worth 30 spiritual stones. Just these 2 things. It's worth 1,100 spirit stones. And the spiritual stone itself, because it can be cultivated, seems to be regarded as a material with the same 10 times explosion rate. A total of 1280 spirit stones. Hiss, exaggeration. It's just a little demon that I can instantly kill with a single sword energy. Is it worth half a month's salary to my mother? Lu Changqing knew that 10 times the material was very profitable, but he didn't expect it to be so profitable. He raised his head and looked at the forest in front of him. The novice copy is here, it's just the beginning. Tisk, I've thought of everything, why didn't I think of bringing a bigger package in? Lu Changqing had no choice but to shake off his Taoist robe to make a bundle and pile everything in. In this way, it can hold a lot of materials. Just about to set off. Lu Changqing paused. Wait, one material has different effects, so it must have an entry. Puppet wood, the most common demon wood material, can be used to make some things. Wood spirit crumbs, the most common type of wood attribute aura, its content is very small and somewhat useful. Quote. Question mark exclamation mark quote. Lu Changqing held the thing and looked at it for a long time, but the entry was not turned into gold. It stands to reason that it shouldn't be. An entry is an entry and it must be able to change. Even if it's a basket of eggs, you can still pick out the ones with bones, so it's impossible to completely fix the entries for this material. There seems to be only one reason why things are not changing now. Lu Changqing clicked on enlightenment and directly threw the wood spirit crumbs in. The next second, bite. When you use materials, the golden entry is loaded. Scraps of Kodama. Abundant wood would attribute mental skills, spiritual skills, martial arts, training effect plus 100%. As expected, Lu Changqing thought, no matter what it is, you have to use it yourself to trigger the destiny. If you don't use it, then it is an ordinary material. Said, Lu Changqing took out the wood spirit fragments and looked at it again. It was the same as before, the most ordinary wood attribute spiritual energy material. I finally figured out the entry. That, Lu Changqing took out a piece of spirit stone and crushed it directly for use. Bite. When you use materials, the golden entry is loaded. Spirit stone. 10 times the spiritual energy, the amount of spiritual energy contained x 10. Lu Changqing felt happy. Haha, the road to cultivating immortality from now on will probably not be too difficult. Material. I exploded 10 times 10 times. Practice. One of my spiritual stones is worth 10. One in and one out. 100 times the difference. That's it, not counting the changes in the terms of my own cultivation. Lu Changqing shouldered the burden and continued walking deeper into the copy. Among the woods, most of them are puppet monsters. When they meet, they can kill them instantly with just one finger of sword energy. You defeated the puppet wood demon at the first level of chi refining and gained 3 points of cultivation. You defeated the puppet wood demon at the first level of chi refining and gained 3 points of cultivation. Half an hour later, Lu Changqing stopped outside the woods. Cultivation. 69 1/1000ths. It was a step forward from refining chi. And the baggage behind him also bulged. But his own spiritual energy was almost exhausted. Cultivation is really not an easy thing. Lu Changqing sighed softly. I came in such a hurry that I even forgot to prepare a pill. There are only 3 ways to restore spiritual energy. Lu Changqing sat cross-legged. The first is to meditate and recover naturally. It will take half a day to fully recover 100 points of spiritual energy. This is too slow, don't consider it. The second is to use the chi gathering pill. If you take 1 pill, you can recover less than half of it on the spot, and it can be restored to full level slowly in the future. You can only buy this when you go out. I do have the spirit stone, but once you exit the novice copy, it will be considered a failure and you will have to refresh it the next day. Think about it. Only the third method can be tried. That is, cultivation. As a cultivator improves his spiritual power can be restored quite quickly. Certainly, you can recover it by directly crushing the spiritual stone, but the absorption of spiritual energy during the chi refining period is very slow. If you use it, it is basically equivalent to cultivation. Think of this. Lu Changqing did not waste any time and found an open place where he could respond even if there was a wood demon attack. Click on Practice. Add spiritual stones. Well, let's try adding 10 pills first. After all, Lu Changqing is not here to practice, but just to restore his spiritual power. Confirm. Practice begins. Bite. When you were practicing, you loaded the golden entry. Time is short. Retreat. Cultivation speed plus 100%. Cultivation level plus 100%. Bite. When you use materials, the golden entry is loaded. 10 times the spiritual energy, the amount of spiritual energy contained x 10. 10 spirit stones are equal to 100 in an instant. The training speed is doubled. And the cultivation gained is doubled again. It's a pity that I have no understanding. After all, Lu Changqing is not destined to have enlightenment. He only has heaven-defying enlightenment when he meditates on the exercises. Now that he is in seclusion, he can only practice to speed up. But, cultivation's requirements for understanding are not that exaggerated. Even stupid people can cultivate. This matter is related to understanding, but the impact is not decisive. Why didn't you practice before? Of course Lu Changqing thought about it too, but for such things as cultivation, there must be one thing first, and then 2 things. You must master a set of martial arts, spiritual methods, and mental methods before you can embark on the road to immortality. This is the basis for mastering spiritual power and practicing cultivation. If you don't understand anything, even if you live in seclusion for 10,000 years, you still won't be able to achieve even a little bit of cultivation. Bite. You have gained some insights in practice and gained 2 points of cultivation. 1 minute. The prompt sounds again. You have gained some insights in practice and gained 2 points of cultivation. Hey, everyone else has 1 point, but I have 2 points. After conversion, this speed is actually not slow, right? Lu Changqing watched his cultivation slowly rise. Although it was not as refreshing as killing demons, fortunately it was rising and not too slow. And, as his cultivation level increases, his spiritual power is also recovering. That's good too, Lu Changqing calculated happily. Kill monsters to obtain materials and explode spiritual stones. Then when the spiritual power is exhausted, I use spiritual stones to practice. A perfect positive cycle. Moreover, there are still some spiritual stones left after practicing. 1 hour. Lu Changqing invested 100 spirit stones and gained 200 points of cultivation. If there is no double cultivation, there will be no tenfold aura. The result of this hour of practice. It will take at least 2,000 spirit stones and more time. Is it so expensive? Lu Changqing immediately slapped his forehead. You can't forget your roots after getting rich. How hard is it to cultivate immortality? How many people have lowered their proud heads as cultivators for the sake of spiritual stones and resources, and are willing to bow their heads like cattle and work hard for major aristocratic families and sects? Now that I can make money, I can also save money while practicing, but I must not be careless. I have to save some money for the future. Lu Changqing stood up and moved forward. Leaving the woods, there is a rocky ridge ahead. Boom! The broken stones were combined during the rolling, and turned into a stone demon with a burly body. Giant stone demon. Life, 100 to 200 points. Defense, 20 to 30 points. Attack, 10 to 20 points. This demon's speed and reaction are very slow. You only need to use long-range martial arts and spiritual methods to slowly strangle it. However, you need to be careful. This demon can curl up and turn into a rolling stone to attack, so you must dodge in time. Crunch, crunch. The 2 giant stone monsters walked towards Lu Changqing with heavy steps. Whoosh! Lu Changqing pointed his sword and thrust out, and immediately started running diagonally. The book says, the boulder demon rolls very fast, so you must keep your distance. Certainly, if you are a monk practicing Shenfa, you don't have to be so careful. You only need to pay attention to the opponent's attack. The journey of cultivating immortality is full of dangers. Any carelessness or mistake will lead to loss of life. Well, when the dungeon is finished today, I'll go by my own method. After Lu Changqing made his decision, he released the green sword energy in his hand one after another. 4 swords in a row. Kill both giant stone monsters directly. He didn't even give the opponent a chance to use rolling stone. Bite. You defeated the giant stone demon at the first level of chi refining and gained 5 points of cultivation. You defeated the giant stone demon at the first level of chi refining and gained 5 points of cultivation. Ha ha ha, who can say that damage explosion is not a defense capability under another mechanism? Lu Changqing stepped forward to pick up the materials. Bite. You got iron ore x 150. You have obtained earth spirit crumbs x 60. You have obtained spiritual stones x 510. The ore is worth 15, which is a bit more expensive, but the earth spirit is the same price as the wood spirit. But this, if you calculate it, there are more than 4,000 spiritual stones. Hiss. The benefits are so high. You make more money than the wood demon. Lu Changqing then thought about it. Under normal circumstances, you need at least 1 chi refining monk and the cooperation of 4 people who understand martial arts and spiritual methods to safely kill this kind of monster. Now I can do it all by myself, and there's no pressure. Not only that, you can kill demons by yourself, and you don't have to share all the spirit stones and materials with others. Earn money with blood. Continue. Lu Changqing entered the rocky ridge and killed 7 or 8 of them, then retreated. The boulder monster has high blood defense. Killing consumes spiritual energy too quickly. Let's prepare some elixirs in the future. Otherwise, meditating and practicing like this all the time will really affect your progress. Now this is my first time and I have no experience. Lu Changqing left Rock Ridge, returned to the woods, threw in 100 spirit stones, and continued to meditate. 1 hour later, Lu Changqing's training ended and his spiritual power recovered. Cultivation. 509 1/1000ths. In less than half a day, the results of cultivation are so outstanding. I heard before that many Blue Destiny seniors need at least a month to break through to the Qi refining stage. When you have the Qi refining period and learn the inner skills, you can master the magic weapon. If you have money, you can even buy a magic weapon that can fly. Lu Changqing felt a little jealous when he thought about the flying swords that usually flew across the city. Rush, we must break through the Qi refining process within today. Next 2 hours, Lu Changqing made 2 trips back and forth to the stone ridge, not only killing all the giant stone monsters on the periphery, but also pushing his cultivation level to 1000. Click to open the interface and break through. Byte. Lack of breakthrough materials. Should we force a breakthrough? Note, the success rate of forced breakthrough is extremely low. If the breakthrough fails, your cultivation level will be reduced by 30%, and you will not be able to try to break through again within 7 days. I forgot. Lu Changqing never thought that breaking through the Qi refining stage would require an extremely important pill. Gathering pill. For ordinary people to achieve a breakthrough in Qi refining, they can just use low-grade ones. Lu Changqing secretly said, based on my understanding, I'm afraid low grade is not enough, right? Medium grade. If it really doesn't work, go for the top grade. I have saved so many materials and spiritual stones, aren't they just for spending? Lu Changqing decided, must use top quality. One more thing. In the Golden Legend of Destiny, there seems to be a gap in the effects of loaded entries under different situations and props. Lu Changqing can be sure. The better the stuff, the better the entries will be. Even if the entries for low-grade elixirs are turned into gold, they may not be as good as those for high-grade elixirs. If the above-mentioned items are combined with the golden entry, then this breakthrough will be relatively safe. Lu Changqing didn't want to fail. The loss of cultivation is not bad. But the limit that cannot be broken within 7 days has too great an impact. Although he has mastered a martial art and has good lethality, he is still a mortal after all. How can a mortal compare with a monk? Qi refining period. There are several mental methods that can be practiced. Not to mention the magic weapon he mastered. The simplest. Can fly, and can't fly. Just tell me how big the difference is. Lu Changqing stood up and walked towards the depths of Rock Ridge. The surrounding monsters have been dealt with. The copy has also reached its deepest point. And here, there is a giant stone old demon with a 6th level of Qi refining guarding him. Compared to ordinary little demons, the old boulder monster's health points were 10 times more, and its defense power was over 30 points. Although it can no longer roll due to its size, its 7 or 8 meter long arm suddenly smashes down, which is enough to injure mortals within a dozen meters. For recent graduates, this old demon can be said to be quite difficult to deal with. The main reason is that the defense is too high. Ordinary classmates. The basic attack is 10 points, and I can't unlock even a single entry of the martial arts and spiritual methods I just learned, and it will only take 10 points if I am exhausted. This attribute, even the little demon outside can't be killed. This is also why a Qi refining stage monk is needed to lead the team. But among students, how can there be so many Qi refining periods? Therefore, in the initial dungeon, the teacher suggested quitting after killing the wood monsters, and not fighting the stone monsters at all. More than 30 points of defense, more than 1,000 lives. Lu Changqing felt a little confused and secretly complained. It's not that it can't be beaten. But the spiritual power is not enough. 100 points of spiritual power, up to 16 times of sword energy, causing about 1,000 points of damage. Tisk. Just a little bit different. Can't be killed. If you practice it yourself, the giant stone demon can also restore its life. The recovery of life is simpler and definitely faster than recovering spiritual power by oneself. Go back. Lu Changqing didn't want to waste this opportunity. After all, he was an old demon, the most valuable guy in the entire copy. Otherwise, it would be a waste. If it really doesn't work, then let's take a gamble. Lu Changqing was heartbroken and threw the baggage aside. Wow, a bag full of materials and spiritual stones were scattered all over the ground. Here, there are more than 10,000 spirit stones. As for the materials, according to a rough estimate, the value may be close to 100,000 spirit stones. A copy. 10 times the material. Single person income. It's such an exaggeration. If it were an ordinary team that just farmed the wood demons and left, the total income would only be about 3,000 spirit stones. Give members a point. It would be considered good if each person could get 7 or 800. Then deduct the elixir consumed. 1 chi gathering pill, 100 spiritual stones. You have to eat it, right? In the end, there were only 1 or 200 spiritual stones left in his pocket for cultivation. What can this spiritual stone be used for? An hour of seclusion can only increase your cultivation by a dozen points. A cultivation value of 1,000 points. It is really not easy to complete it within a month. This is assuming you have a fixed team. If not, you won't be able to do it in 3 months. Take a step back and say that, even if you have completed cultivation, still want a breakthrough. Tisk tisk. The value of the spirit gathering pill, even if it is a low-grade one, would require 3,000 spirit stones to buy it, right? On your own. Many students can't figure it out. It is said that it is a way to make money by brushing up the capital, but in fact it is just a matter of practicing while playing. In the end, the huge expenditure of these spiritual stones still has to be met by the family. Lu Changqing is not here to play. So, this time, this monster must be killed. Bang! Lu Changqing didn't take any action and simply stamped on the pile of spiritual stones with his feet. Bite. When you use materials, the golden entry is loaded. Can this also have 10 times the spiritual energy? Ha! That's better. Lu Changqing slammed his feet down, and his whole body was already filled with a faint aura. No more hesitation. Use your right hand to point the sword together and point it out in the air. Base. The green sword energy swept across the sky over the rock ridge and struck directly at the old demon's heart. -92. For harm. Lu Changqing already knew that whether he looked at it or not, the sword energy in his right hand fired continuously. Whoosh whoosh. Lines of green sword energy burst out. Boom. The old boulder demon was attacked and stood up angrily. His already huge body looked like a hill when viewed from below. The absorption of spiritual energy is slow, so use more spiritual energy. Lu Changqing stood in the pile of spiritual stones that was almost so rich that it had an almost fairy aura, pointing his sword non-stop. Soon, all spiritual power was emptied by him. And as he stood in the spiritual energy, his spiritual power was indeed recovering, but the speed was still not fast. Not even 1 second or 1 point. It takes a few seconds to recover a little. This time is really too long. At the same time, a large amount of the old boulder demon's body was also blown away by the strong sword energy. It is at least 2/3 shorter than before. Ouch! The old boulder monster roared and finally found a gap in Lu Changqing's attack. He waved his arm and slammed it down. Lu Changqing knew that this disaster was coming, so he sped away in advance. Bang! A huge stone fist with a diameter of more than 3 meters hit the ground. No, it hit the pile of spiritual stones. Moment. The tens of thousands of accumulated spiritual stones were all shattered, and the huge spiritual energy exploded with a bang. The old demon's arm was directly blown off by the burst of spiritual energy. Life fell again. Lu Changqing, on the other hand, took a leisurely breath and breathed in the rich spiritual energy. Hey, let me see if you die. Cut. Lu Changqing's spiritual power recovered, and he raised his hand and released a sword energy. Kai. The sword energy slashed down diagonally, actually cutting off the old demon's other arm. Ouch. The old boulder demon became angry again and shook the ground suddenly, pulling the surrounding gravel back to his feet and carrying it to his arms. Can this still happen? Lu Changqing was slightly surprised, secretly thinking that he would have to hit the vital point next time. After a few breaths, the spiritual energy was replenished. Lu Changqing did not rush to attack. Instead, he ran around the boulder old demon twice. The teacher didn't teach you this strategy, but monsters always have a target. But the old boulder monster is covered in stone, so you can't tell the difference at all. Since there is no, then it's better to attack the opponent's strongest defense. Just do what comes to mind. Lu Changqing aimed at the old demon's heart and thrust out his sword energy again. When the old demon saw this sword, he seemed to be a little panicked, and wanted to wave his arms to block, but its new gravel arm was obviously not easy to use, and he did not stop it in time. Poof! The sharpness of the sword energy was far beyond ordinary, and it actually pierced the old demon's heart and plunged directly into it. Just now, Changqing also hit this place with his sword, but it had no effect. It's probably because the stone armor was too thick before, but now it's smaller in size, it's fine. -216 a knowing blow. Good. Seeing how nervous it looked just now, Changqing knew that he had guessed the key point correctly. Now that you have the advantage of sharp sword energy, how many swords can you block? In the spiritual energy cloud, Changqing waited until he recovered before taking aim and drawing his sword. Puff, puff, just use 2 swords. The old boulder demon bent over Changqing's face and disintegrated with a loud roar. Bite. You defeated the old boulder demon on the 6th level of chi refining and gained 50 points of cultivation. Wow, a lot of material came out. With sharp eyes, Changqing saw a flash of green light flash past. What? Changqing quickly stepped forward to check. Bite. You have obtained refined iron ore X300. You have obtained earth spirit crumbs X500. You have obtained spiritual stones X2100. You have obtained low-grade refined stones X10. You have obtained the concentration technique, Green Heart technique. Green Mind method. Changqing was delighted and immediately took it out. The secret of concentration. Resting and concentrating can increase spiritual power. Okay, the most lacking thing now is spiritual power. Changqing took the mental method into his arms. As for the rest of the materials, there were too many, so he could only sort them out slowly. Turn around. Changqing was about to get the baggage. Me, my robe. The old boulder demon punched down, and tens of thousands of spiritual stones were shattered. Naturally, the ordinary green robe did not end well, with only some rags scattered around. Thanks to the short sleeves I wore underneath, otherwise I would have lost. Changqing sighed softly. It's easy to say that I don't have any clothes, but how can I take out so many things? You can't sacrifice another short-sleeved shirt, right? Then, that's not enough. Peel the bark off the tree. Changqing didn't believe it. There was a reason why the loot couldn't be taken out. Before peeling off tree bark to make baskets, Changqing decided to clean up all the exposed materials. The place where the old demon was in a mess. Wait, this is... Changqing moved away the gravel, only to find a wooden box in front of him. Almost forgot. The novice copy has been cleared, and there is a box that can be opened. Okay, now we don't even need to make baskets. Such a big box is not suitable for packing spiritual stone materials. Click. Changqing opened the box without thinking. After all, to the naked eye, it looks like an ordinary gray box. Nothing good can come out of it. It is impossible to even prescribe a green mental method. Bite. When you opened the treasure chest, the golden entry was loaded. Golden treasure, the treasure chest you open must be golden. Ahem. Changqing was almost frightened by his destiny. So scary. A must-open golden treasure chest. In front of you. Bursts of brilliant golden brilliance were dazzling. It took a while to disappear. Excited heart, trembling hands. If I had known it was a golden treasure chest, why would I have to open it after a wave of metaphysics? Changqing thought. No matter what, the gold color is fine. Accept anything. Bite. You have obtained low-grade spiritual stones X120. You have obtained the first-grade magic weapon Nangong ring. Low-grade spiritual stone. This is a high-end product that contains 100 times the spiritual energy. One piece can be exchanged for 100 ordinary spiritual stones. Changqing lost more than 10,000 spirit stones in order to slay the demon, but he came back in the blink of an eye. And, higher quality. The effect is also better when practicing. And there are magic weapons. Nangong ring. You are not the ring I thought of, are you? Changqing's hands were really shaking. Nangong Jia. First-grade magic weapon. The connotation is an independent space, which can store items, magic weapons, etc., and cannot be placed with living objects. Consumption. 1 point of spiritual power. Requirements. None. Space. There is 1 cubic meter of independent space in the instrument. Is it really a space ring? Handsome. You don't even need the chi refining period. So handsome. Changqing said secretly that it was very suspenseful. If you were to peel off tree bark to make a basket, and then come back after a long day of work and find a space ring, wouldn't your mentality explode? No need to think. Wear and use directly. As for 1 cubic meter. Very small. Not small. The gap between having and not having this kind of prop is the most perverted. The rest is acceptable. The most you can do is put some thought into taking things away and tidy them up well. Bite. When you are wearing the magic weapon, the golden entry is loaded. 1,000 square meters, there is 1,000 cubic meters of independent space in the instrument. Quote. Lu Changqing looked at the 1,000 cubic meter large space and fell silent. Do you still need to clean this up? 1,000 cubic meters. That's a huge space of 10x 10x 10 meters. A perfect 3-bedroom apartment. Still a tall duplex. As a warehouse, that's really more than enough. Lu Changqing waved his hand, and all the material scattered around went into the ring. Chicken and elegant. Hey, this is what you call an immortal cultivator. How can any immortal cultivator be like a knight, running around with a big baggage on his back? What about his image? Diangshan Square. There is no excitement in the morning at this moment, only students in 2s and 3s are resting and discussing. Zhuo Heng and He stayed there from day to afternoon. Everyone fell asleep, but they didn't see any trace of Lu Changqing. King Han, I think that boy may have died in the dungeon, right? That's right. On the first day the dungeon was opened, everyone came out just after swiping the wood demon, and they were basically finished in the morning. Even if the team's strength is a little lower and the ink stains are a little lower, they will all finish their work and go home for dinner at noon. Han Shu felt secretly resentful. You should teach this kid a lesson in front of Nangong Lee in the morning. Now that I have lost my face, if I don't make up for it, will I be able to survive in the immortal cultivation world in Linhai in the future? Stop talking nonsense and keep waiting. The novice copy only has 12 hours. If it doesn't come out after dark, then there is no need for me to argue with a dead person. Not far away, Zhou Yue is also waiting, and he is also anxious. Evergreen, Evergreen, you can't die. In the future, my pharmacy will be short of a permanent employee who will not be paid. Right now, Nangong Lee, who had already left, came back for some reason after calming down. It's just a novice copy. With her family background, it doesn't matter if she doesn't brush. I'm just curious about Lu Changqing's destiny and want to find out. Are you still there? Where's Mr. Lu? Have you finished typing the copy and come out? When Zhou Yue saw her coming, he was happy at first, and then shook his head slightly. Not out yet. Nangong Lee calculated the time. Unless he fell asleep inside, he should have come out a long time ago. He has no cultivation alone. I'm afraid he won't be able to kill even the weakest wood demon. Who knows? Zhou Yue was speechless. His temper is so stubborn that even 9 oxen can't pull him away. Nangong Lee looked sideways and said, have you asked, will he be okay? Zhou Yue shook his head. Hard way. How dare I ask this? What if he was fighting a monster when he sent the message, and ended up distracted, injured, or even killed? Then wouldn't I be a heinous sinner? Nangong Lee was really speechless. It really makes sense for the two of them to get together. They both have some brain problems. If you don't ask, I'll ask. Nangong Lee opened his friend list and was sending a message, when the entrance to the dungeon in the distance suddenly flashed. A young man had his hands in his pockets and a faint smile on his lips. He looked carefree, as if he had just returned from an outing. Nangong Lee tilted his head and was stunned for a moment before he dared to confirm. Lu Changqing, what time is it, and you haven't left yet? Lu Changqing also noticed the two of them and said slightly surprised. What the hell, is it really you, brother? Zhou Yue didn't even dare to recognize him for the first time. The difference in clothes is secondary. The key is that the temperament is different. Lu Changqing looks really different now. But what's the difference? He couldn't tell, but he just didn't feel like a human being. Cut. I guess you slept in the dungeon for a day, right? When Han Shu saw Nangong Lee, he wanted to go up and talk to her, but he found Lu Changqing coming out. Good. Came out great. Lu Changqing, I said, I must teach you a lesson today. There is no use hiding. Let's fight. Han Shu didn't give Lu Changqing a chance to refute. He took a few steps to the square and grabbed the spear technique. Are you sick? Lu Changqing really didn't expect that this mangy dog could really wait for a day. Let's go, I'm in a good mood today and don't want to kill anyone. What? Don't want to kill someone? Ha, ha ha ha. When Han Shu and others heard this, they almost laughed so hard that they almost twitched away. Only you. Ha ha ha, I think you haven't woken up yet. Zuo Heng spat. You're pretending to be cool and don't even look at who you're following. In front of the King of Guns, you are nothing. Even if my eldest brother stands still and lets you kill him, you can't kill him. Han Shu stood up and was shocked. His right hand turned into a gun and pointed diagonally at the ground. Just heard a clang. A purple gun shadow shot out from the center of his fist and plunged into the ground. Buzz buzz. The purple gun shadow shook slightly in the air, and after several breaths, it gradually dissipated. Marksmanship. The true energy is more concentrated and the lethality is higher. But compared with swordsmanship, the cooldown is longer. Some moves also require charging before they can be released. Boy, don't brag there. If you are brave enough, take the fight. Han Shu stood proudly, his face exuding absolute confidence. Lu Changqing looked at the competition application submitted by the other party and curled his lips in boredom. Sparring. I'm not interested, but if you really want to die, then just sign the life and death certificate before coming. Life and death situation. Han Shu couldn't help being slightly stunned when he heard this. In Linhai City, there are no restrictions on sparring. If you break something, you will be compensated. But in a discussion, you can't kill anyone. If there is an accident, you will be responsible. The situation of life and death is different. After signing, everyone takes care of their destiny and is responsible for life and death. If you die, your death is in vain. Even if it means breaking the sky. No one can say a word to you. Forget about the life and death certificate, right? Nangong Lee doesn't mind the immortal cultivators competing with each other, but if they sign the life and death certificate, it will really be a mortal enemy and they will definitely kill each other. Student. No better than those foundation building monks who achieved enlightenment. Now they have neither a weapon to take advantage of, nor a magic weapon to protect themselves. Although the martial arts and spiritual skills at this stage are average, you are afraid that you will have no defense. The injuries are all real. If the move hits, it may be seriously injured. In case of explosion, I will know. It's very likely to be a fatal blow. It's too dangerous. Why are you standing there? Let's go. Lu Changqing was too lazy to talk nonsense, and said directly to Zhou Yue without waiting for the result. Hiss. Zhou Yue was a little in disbelief at first, but now he calmed down for a moment and suddenly realized it, and immediately gave his brother a thumbs up. Sure. In the past 500 years, you have been the best. If it weren't for my brothers these years, I would have almost been played by you. Pretty. This life and death gesture scared the idiot so much that he didn't dare to do anything right. Stop. How could Han Shu see Lu Changqing leave so easily? Since you are bent on seeking death, I have no choice but to help you today. The words fell. Han Shu had already clicked on the interface, waved his hand, and signed his name under the status of life and death. Really coming. Lu Changqing turned around unexpectedly. Haha, are you scared? Han Shu suddenly became proud when he heard this. I'll give you one last chance. If you don't want to die, kneel down and admit your mistake, get under your crotch, and call Grandpa Gun Wang 3 times, and I'll let you go. Chapter 11. Lu Changqing clicked on the other party to initiate a life and death battle, and signed his name without hesitation to confirm his agreement. Do you want to pick a place? If not, then this is the place. Han Shu didn't expect that the other party would be so decisive. Does he have a destiny? Impossible. When I woke up yesterday, everyone was watching. His destiny is useless. Even if there is, I have mastered the basic marksmanship by destiny, and no one can stop me. Oh, I was almost fooled by you. What a duck, with a tough mouth to the very end. That's it, let's get started. Han Shu twitched the corner of his mouth and already prepared his gun. Bite. Life and death battle confirmed. Lu Changqing vs Han Shu. After 5 seconds, the battle begins. After the prompt ends, a countdown also dropped from the sky at the same time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. At the moment when the countdown ended, Lu Changqing's right sword finger suddenly pointed out. Whoosh. Before anyone could react, they saw a flash of cyan sword energy passing across the square. Phew. The sword energy steadily hit the heart of Han Shu, who was still swinging his gun. Once worn. Puff. Han Shu looked up to the sky and spat out a mouthful of blood with broken internal organs, and the pupils in his eyes expanded infinitely. Don't know. Completely unaware of what happened. What's wrong with me? Thump. Coerced by the stamina of the sword energy, Han Shu flew back several meters, and then he lay down on his back with a bang. Ding. The life and death battle is over. Winner. Liu Changqing. Diangshan Square. Some students who didn't leave didn't even come to watch the game, but it was already over. What's going on? In Liu Changqing's life and death battle, who is he fighting? Wait, Han Shu is dead. No way. Isn't he the Gun King who changed his job yesterday? The majestic purple destiny has a promising future. Why did the novice copy die on the first day? Everyone started talking in shock. Liu Changqing also raised his eyebrows helplessly. Has he always been so brave? Did he know that I know swordsmanship? Zhou Yue and Nangong Lee shook their heads like dumb geese at the same time. Have no idea. I really don't know. Other side. Zhuo Heng and He Ji were stunned before they reacted and went to check on Han Shu. Dead. So dead. The two looked at each other. They all had the same confusion in their eyes, not knowing what to do at all. Zhuo Heng suddenly thought of something, turned around and scolded Liu Changqing angrily. Asshole, you are doing a sneak attack. Are you sick too? Liu Changqing glanced at him indifferently. In a life and death battle, there is a natural judge. Are you still talking about a sneak attack? Do you have a problem with Tianda or Han Shu? If it's you who has an opinion against me, then it's easy. Liu Changqing's mouth raised an easygoing smile. You and I have signed a life and death certificate, and we will have another fight. Ding. Zhuo Heng suddenly turned pale with fear. Although the sword strike just now was short-lived, the rich junqi and fierce momentum were unforgettable. When did you learn swordsmanship? Hey, why do you bump into idiots when you go out today? Liu Changqing rubbed his forehead helplessly. Do I have to report to you even though I have learned infinite magical skills? It's boring. If you don't want to fight, I'll leave if you don't. Zhuo Heng immediately shook his head like a rattle. Seeing this, Liu Changqing spread his hands and said, Hey, I've given you an opportunity, but you don't cherish it. Say it. Liu Changqing calmly turned around and walked away, leaving only his back to everyone. Oh my god, what kind of destiny is he, and why is he so strong? Golden legend. Gold kills purple, it makes sense. What do you mean, useless gold? How is that possible? Open your dog eyes and take a look. Han Shu's body is not cold yet. Do you think it's useless? Come on, who said it's useless? You go up and have a fight with Liu Changqing. A group of people argued endlessly about Liu Changqing's destiny. Nangong Lee didn't even look at Han Shu's body, turned around and chased him out. Golden destiny. Sure enough, it's not simple. I understand. But why don't you persist? Just hold on a little longer. Maybe you can win him over. Gold, a once-in-a-century golden color. Classmate Liu, wait for me. Nangong Lee used his body technique, and flowing clouds appeared under his feet, and he followed him in the blink of an eye. Is something wrong? Liu Changqing asked. I. Nangong Lee's pretty face blushed slightly. She rubbed her feet with her fingers, and asked in a low voice carefully, I want to ask, classmate Liu, do you know about the double practicing? Question mark. Liu Changqing suddenly turned his head. Was it an illusion just now? Where did the hallucination come from? When Nangong Lee heard this, he tilted his head and blinked in confusion, and looked around. Student Liu, don't you know what double practice is? It's okay, I'll tell you. Follow. Nangong Lee took the initiative to hold Liu Changqing's hand and explained as he walked. As the saying goes, there are 5 points in spiritual practice. Dharma and wealth are paired with earthly masters. Dharma is naturally a method of cultivation. Currently, only the major families and sects master the blue and above Dharma. Wealth is both spiritual stone and various materials. It can also be interpreted as some indescribable resources, such as connections, which are also wealth. A companion is a Taoist companion. People who practice spiritual life have a long life. It is impossible to become a Taoist companion with a mortal. It will only increase the difficulty of the inner demon calamity. The earth is a blessed land of cave heaven. Our Nangong family has one. It's a pity that very few people can enter and practice, not even me. Master, this is the simplest, it is a strong master. Whether it is good or not is secondary, being strong is a must. Lu Changqing has some understanding of the previous one, whether it is right or not, but at least it makes sense. Why does master only need to be strong? No matter how strong he is, if he doesn't teach you or even abuses you, what's the point of being there? First of all, you must be strong. And the kind that has a good reputation and is extremely tyrannical. In this way, if you encounter evil spirits in the future, report your master's name before you die. If the other party is afraid, they will spare your life. Is that so? Lu Changqing looked a little unconvinced. Nangong Lee said seriously. Don't take it seriously, I am serious. Lu Changqing reluctantly nodded. You have a point, but what you just said. Nangong Lee smiled. The Taoist companion ranks third. It is a very important matter and cannot be ignored. On the way to cultivating immortality, there are countless difficulties and obstacles, as well as the intrusion of many evil spirits and heretics. It's actually very dangerous to be alone. Even if you go into seclusion, you won't be able to find a protector. What's more important is that if a person practices alone for a long time, his mentality will easily go wrong. If a Taoist companion is always with him, it will be much better and the probability of becoming a demon can be greatly reduced. What you said makes sense. I had no words to reply. Lu Changqing was only a little confused. So, you just said you wanted to find me, are you serious? A little starlight flashed in Nangong Lee's beautiful eyes, and she was slightly excited. Golden destiny, golden. From destiny, it is determined that the two of us can live at least about the same age, and the black-haired person will not give up the white-haired person. Quote. Besides, you and I are similar in age and are classmates, so there is no sense of strangers, and I have no feeling of rejection towards you. Wouldn't it be great if that's the case? It's much better than finding a Taoist companion I don't know at home. I see. But at your age, you have just graduated, and your family is already anxious to help you become a Taoist monk. Actually, I didn't think she was serious from beginning to end. But her last sentence seems to be true now. She's not kidding. Actually, I am not the golden destiny. Those things are all bluffing. Lu Changqing tried to explain. Yeah, Nangong Lee didn't listen at all. He calculated with his jade-like slender fingers. My dowry is very generous, at least 1 million spirit stones. Well, you have a golden destiny. You can increase it as appropriate. How about 1 million? Lu Changqing frowned slightly. Give it to me. Nangong Lee nodded heavily. Of course I will give it to you. 2 million betrothal gift. You give it to me. Lu Changqing suddenly felt that he had gone out without reading the almanac and bumped into another madman. Goodbye, we don't know each other. Ah, Nangong Lee was thrown on the spot, his big eyes instantly lost their vitality, and he was stunned. Zhou Yue watched the whole show, and at this moment, he could only look at him with pity for what happened to the little princess of the Nangong family. Ahem, Princess Li, don't be sad. In fact, being dumped is normal. For example, I was dumped 80 times a year and never felt sad. Lu Changqing is my brother. I know a little bit about him. I don't like hard words. Oh, the sparkle in Nangong Lee's eyes suddenly returned, and she asked for advice. This classmate, could you please explain in detail, how do you explain that you accept soft things rather than hard things? Ha ha. Zhou Yue immediately got excited and said, as a man, it's normal to like girls with better looks, but the emotional value is still very important, for example. Oh. Nangong Lee listened with great concentration, nodded repeatedly, and even took out a small notebook to take notes. Other side. News of Han Shu's death spread quickly in the city. Principal Lee said it was impossible as soon as he received the news. I have checked the child's destiny in the panel, and I can even memorize it. With his little understanding and aptitude, he will never be able to master any sword in this life. Law. But principal, the news is absolutely true. The Han family is going crazy. The dean of teachers wiped the cold sweat from his forehead at this moment. The key is that the Xuanqian sect has ordered Han Shu to skip the assessment and join directly. Zong. It is said that an elder of the Xuanqian sect is Han Shu's second cousin's third uncle. Purple destiny. It's extraordinary. Coupled with this relationship, Xuanqiang sect's hand-picked entry is also a normal operation. Principal Li suddenly felt his scalp numb. The Xuanqiang sect is not well known in Qingyan State, but in the areas of Linhai City, Biwan City, and Fengyao City, it is an existence that can cause 3 tremors by just stamping its feet. Did they discuss it privately, or did they sign a life and death certificate? The students reported that they seemed to have signed a certificate of life and death. Heaven has judged that there was no fraud. Phew, Principal Li breathed a sigh of relief. Then it has nothing to do with us. If the Xuanqian sect asks, just reply directly. What about Lu Changqing? Principal Li paused. Is his golden destiny useful? I understand, I'm going to check now. Lu Changqing's cultivation level is now full and he is in urgent need of a spirit-gathering pill to break through. There is a market for cultivators of immortality in the city, which is not far from Diongxian Square. Collect the dungeon materials. Puppet wood 3 spirit stones, wood spirit fragments 10 spirit stones. A 80% new magic weapon is on sale for only 30,000 spirit stones. If you want to buy it, hurry up. Selling a batch of elixirs at low prices, quality guaranteed, 30% off for all. As soon as I entered Fangxi, you can hear shouts on the street. Lu Changqing was stunned for a while after hearing this. Didn't the book say that puppet wood has at least 10 spirit stones? A student. The material dealer who purchased the material came over as soon as he saw Lu Changqing's dress. The price of 10 spirit stones was in the past. In today's market, puppet wood is produced in large quantities and the demand is not that high. Naturally, the price has to be reduced, right? You are a scholar, you should understand this. When we purchase materials, the prices are absolutely fair, so you can be honest. What a good person. Taking advantage of the opening of the novice dungeon and constantly lowering the price, it is obvious that you are squeezing students. Tisk. What makes Lu Changqing upset is that his income has always been calculated based on the book price. Now it seems that he has to discount it, and he has to discount it a lot. Feeling distressed, the material dealer asked again, what should I say? Why don't we just sell the materials? The price is the same, so why bother running around? I don't have the materials. Even if the price is the same, Lu Changqing still has to ask. There are too many goods in the pocket, even if there is more than 1 spiritual stone, it is still a huge gap. Really, why are you asking questions when you don't have any information? The businessman threw away his sleeves impatiently and continued to squat at the intersection. Lu Changqing continued walking into Fangxi. Ask people when you see them. But the material dealers on the street really have a unified price, and everyone is 30% off. Don't worry, ask the store again. Lu Changqing went straight to Luyun Immortal Pavilion. The names of the shops in Fang City are more domineering than the last, and I wish I could open the shop directly to the fairyland. However, this Luyun Immortal Pavilion is really powerful. Lu Changqing has long heard that their products are of high quality and reasonably priced. Just walked in the door. A beautiful-looking woman came forward. Lu Changqing only felt that his eyes were filled with white flowers. Look carefully. The opening angle of the other party's colorful gauze clothes is really quite generous. Hello fellow Taoist, Nujia Wanyu, is there anything I can help you with? Lu Changqing said directly. Do you collect materials here? Excuse me, what kind of material is it? Wanyu then explained. If it is a rare material, the shop owner will need to be able to do it. If it is an ordinary material, there is a uniform price in the Immortal Pavilion. Materials for the novice copy. Lu Changqing didn't hide it either. There was no surprise on Wanyu's face, but she said with a little pity, for example, low-level materials such as puppet wood are also purchased by Benxian Pavilion, but they cannot be traded in small quantities. Just take it, Lu Changqing asked. Let's not talk about quantity, let's talk about price first. Wanyu smiled apologetically. I don't know, fellow Taoist, but the quantity must be negotiated. A minimum of 10 sets can be traded, and the price is 10 spirit stones. 10 spirit stones. It's actually the original price. Lu Changqing's heart moved, but there was no expression on his face. 10 groups, that's 200. I have no problem. Do you accept them all? As soon as these words came out. On the contrary, Wanyu was a little surprised. When purchasing materials, the more the merrier. As long as you have more than 10 sets of novice copy materials in your hands, we will accept them all according to the order. Is it right here? Lu Changqing looked at the counter, seemingly hesitant to let it go. Fellow Taoist, please. Wan Yu turned around calmly and led Lu Changqing to an elegant seating area. The coffee table was large and empty. It was obviously used to place materials for guests. Lu Changqing waved his hand. All the materials were poured out with a bang. In an instant, the whole coffee table was piled up, and many of them fell to the ground. Anyway, they are all ordinary materials, not spiritual medicinal materials. It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. Ah, so many. Wan Yu couldn't help but be surprised. To know, the newbie copy was just opened today. Everyone can only swipe once. How could so much material be revealed? The reason why Change limits the number of purchases is just because of market rules, leaving room for the purchasers who roam the streets to sell. Certainly, the vendors' materials are eventually sold to the shops, which can be traded in large quantities and save the shops a lot of trouble. This little Taoist friend has both space rings and materials, so he must be one of the purchasers, right? Good. You can start a business at a young age. 1,600 puppet trees, worth 16,000 spirit stones. 800 wood spirit shards, worth 24,000 spirit stones. Wan Yu is possessed, and groups of materials are stacked neatly. A total of 40,000 spirit stones. Taoist friend, does it mean anything? No, a reputable store with really fair prices. Lu Changqing took the spirit stone and poured out all the remaining materials. And these, iron ore, 2,200 pieces, worth 33,000 spirit stones. Earth spirit fragments, 1,400 pieces, worth 42,000 spirit stones. Concentrated iron ore. When Wan Yu saw the refined iron ore, she was obviously a little surprised, but then she quickly recovered. Refined iron ore. 0.300 pieces, worth 15,000 spiritual stones. A total of 90,000 spirit stones. Counting the 40,000 just now, there are 130,000 spirit stones. Lu Changqing knew this number before, but it was only when he got the spirit stone that it felt heavy. After all, my parents have worked all their lives, but they probably haven't been able to save a six-figure savings. Now, I just downloaded a newbie copy and gained hundreds of thousands of spirit stones. That's it. There are no calculation methods, space rings, low-grade fine stones, and low-grade spiritual stones that are not for sale. Copy, really make money. 10 times the material, really make a fortune. Continue tomorrow. Lu Changqing collected the spirit stones and then spoke again. Does your family have a spirit gathering pill? Wan Yu nodded and said, yes. What qualities do fellow Taoists need? How much does the upper, middle grade cost? Lu Changqing wanted to buy the upper grade, but he was afraid that he didn't have enough money. Wan Yu obviously saw it and replied in one breath. The top grade spirit gathering pill can increase the success rate of breakthrough by 50% during the qi refining period, and is worth 30,000 spirit stones. Mid-grade spirit gathering pill can increase the success rate of breakthrough by 30% during the qi refining period, and is worth 10,000 spirit stones. Medium quality, only 30% success rate. Lu Changqing felt it was a bit lacking. But then I thought about it. The qi refining period is the foundation. When you break through, you have a certain success rate, right? Maybe adding an extra 30% will be enough. First, take a medium quality one. Lu Changqing took out 10,000 spirit stones and got the elixir. Spirit gathering pill, qi refining period, middle grade. The essential elixir for immortal cultivators to break through the qi refining stage, increasing the success rate by 30%. After breakthrough, life plus 10, spiritual power plus 10. There are entries, but the effect of the entries seems to have nothing to do with the probability of breakthrough. Lu Changqing was a little embarrassed. If the entry that comes out has nothing to do with probability, you still have to buy another high-grade one, and he immediately said, I'm sorry, I thought about it and decided to buy a top-grade one. Can I return this one? Wan Yu naturally did not doubt his presence and changed the elixir. Lu Changqing also got the top grade. Spirit gathering pill. Qi refining period. Top grade. The essential elixir for cultivators to break through the qi refining stage, increasing the success rate by 50%. After breakthrough, life plus 20, spiritual power plus 20, and a very low probability of increasing qualifications and spiritual roots. Well, that's about it now, let's eat first and then talk. Gouda. The elixir is gone. Bite. When you took the elixir, the golden entry was loaded. Elixir body shaping after breakthrough, life plus 200, spiritual power plus 200, spirit plus 200, there is a 5% chance of adding 5 points of spiritual root qualifications. This medicine is so powerful. Lu Changqing was determined to try to break through now, but then he turned around and looked around. Well, that Guan Yu showed an understanding look. Fellow Taoist, if you want to practice, we have a quiet room in this pavilion, so no one will disturb you. Since your transaction volume today has reached 100,000 spirit stones, there will be no charge. Please rest assured. Sensible. Lu Changqing came to the private room, which had an incense burner and an embroidered futon on the low couch for meditation. There was a charcoal stove and tea next to it. This kind of cultivation environment focuses on elegance. If it is not expensive, Lu Changqing even wants to open a long-term private room here. Next, click to open the breakthrough interface. Bite. It has been detected that you have taken the top-grade spirit gathering pill. The estimated success rate of this breakthrough is 55%. How many? Lu Changqing didn't have time to see it clearly. Bite. When you broke through the realm, you loaded the golden entry. I want to upgrade. The success rate of realm breakthrough is increased by an additional 50%. 55% plus 50% equals 105%. Unbelievable. 50% success rate. If every time you break through the realm, you can get this entry. That is really outrageous. The later the stage, the more unfavorable it is. As for why the success rate is so low, Lu Changqing doesn't consider it at all. Destiny is destiny, and destiny is changed against the will of heaven. Does my qualification have anything to do with my cultivation of immortality? No. Breakthrough. Bite. As Lu Changqing clicked and confirmed, the medicinal properties mixed with spiritual power in the body began to gradually reshape the body. Mortal. Follow the practitioners. The gap is definitely not a title. That is, the evolution of life. If it weren't for the fact that their appearance didn't change much, you could even say that the species on both sides were different. The body of a chi refining monk. Far more powerful than mortals. With more life and spiritual power, it is more suitable for cultivation. With a 105% success rate, Lu Changqing was not panicked at all. 1 hour, 2 hours, 6 hours later, everything falls into place. Bite. Congratulations on your successful breakthrough and reaching the first level of chi refining stage. Life plus 282. Spiritual power plus 265. Spirit plus 240. Attack plus 15. Defense plus 15. Movement speed plus 5. Golden spiritual root plus 5. Once you refine your chi, you will transcend the world from now on. Lu Changqing felt the transformation of his body. Stronger strength, more spiritual power. Even breathing is more steady. Panel. Lu Changqing. Realm. First level of chi refining stage. Destiny entry. Golden legend. Life. 382. Spiritual power. 365. Spirit. 340. Comprehension. 36. Attack. 23. Defense. 20. Movement speed. 20. Physical immunity. 0. Spell immunity. 0. Unknowing blow. 0. Comprehension magnification. 0. Martial arts qualifications. Sword 0, knife 0, spear 0, boxing 0, odd 0. Spiritual root qualifications. Metal 5, wood 0, water 0, fire 0, earth 0. Skills and qualifications. Alchemy 0, weapon refining 0, talisman and seal script 0, beast control 0, kimin bagua 0. Within a row of zeros, a number suddenly pops up, which is always eye-catching. 5 points of golden spiritual roots. Lu Changqing felt happy. This is the spiritual root of the 5 elements. 5 o'clock. Quite a few. The gray spiritual root destiny only has 5 points. 5 o'clock. That's enough. This is the minimum requirement for learning metallic spiritual techniques. You can learn if you have 5 points, otherwise you are not even qualified to learn. Spiritual method. Martial arts. Logically speaking, there is no saying which one is better or worse. But in fact, spiritual cultivators generally prefer fire spiritual roots, while martial arts cultivators prefer swords. Knife, powerful in killing power. Sword, handsome. Swords naturally have certain advantages and characteristics, but they are mainly handsome. Of course, according to reliable survey data, sword cultivators are more likely to invite female monks to ride on flying swords, travel around Wushan, and concentrate on exchanging the secrets of Kunlun. At the same time, above the balcony of Luyun Immortal Pavilion, Wanyu was kneeling in front of a graceful woman in black gauze. Miss, we have investigated clearly. The young man's name is Lu Changqing. He awakened to the golden destiny yesterday. He came out of the dungeon this afternoon and killed Han Shu, the purple destiny, with one sword. His family background and related panel attributes are all here. Quote. After Lu Chenshui examined it carefully, the doubts in her beautiful eyes became even greater. Regardless of his family background or time, it is impossible for him to acquire so many materials. He can only create them through his own efforts. Wanyu still didn't quite believe it. But miss, the materials he sold require killing the big demon at least a dozen times before it is possible. Snort. Lu Chenshui shook off the thin black gauze covering her body in an extremely charming way, and Yang stood up. There are many adventures along the way of cultivating immortality, and anything is possible. After all, he can even have the kind of golden destiny that has never been seen in thousands of years. What is impossible? Given the time, he should have succeeded in breaking through, right? Let's go and meet. Breakthrough in refining energy. My whole body felt like after a strenuous exercise, dripping with sweat and sticky and uncomfortable. There's even a bathtub. Lu Changqing originally planned to go home and wash it, but everything was ready here, and he only needed to say hello to get it done. Anyway, you don't need any money, just wash it and go home. Soon, the people in the Immortal Pavilion had prepared everything properly, and a woman in black with a voluptuous figure and a charming face came slowly with bare feet. Lu Changqing thought to himself, such a woman is truly naturally charming and charming. No kidding, so stunningly beautiful, so charming, she can really captivate a city with a smile, and captivate a country with another smile. While thinking about it, the woman in black holds 10 scenes of white gauze and comes to the bath bucket. She gently teases the water in the bucket with her jade hand and nods gently. Sir, please, his person is charming and his voice is numb. Won't you leave? Lu Changqing is not someone who has never seen the world, but this world is a little too big, which is really incredible. The woman in black smiled, and the room suddenly felt charming. My name is Chen Shui, and I came here specifically to serve the young master in bathing. Hiss. Luyun Immortal Pavilion. I thought you just had a cool name for business. Unexpectedly. Are you really awesome, and you are really a fairy? Ahem. When in town, do as the Romans do. Lu Changqing didn't talk nonsense and let Chen Shui serve him to change clothes and take a bath. Lu Changqing finally sighed with satisfaction. Luyun Immortal Pavilion has a great reputation, and it is indeed extraordinary. Young Master Lu is so proud. Lu Chenshui was about to take down the clothes on the shelf, but Lu Changqing said, Does your family have a Taoist robe? Yes. Young Master, do you need a magic weapon, or do you need it for daily wear? The magic weapon. I'm afraid it's a bit expensive, right? Although Lu Changqing is quite wealthy now, these 100,000 spirit stones may not be easy to spend in such a place, right? Just for daily wear. Young Master, do you have a favorite style? Well, Lu Changqing really didn't know what styles of Taoist robes are popular today, let alone what the particularities are, so he said straight away, you can help me choose. In a blink of an eye, Lu Chenshui took a set of Taoist robes and came over. The lining is made of extremely smooth and fine silk. The outer robe is mainly green and black, with occasional 3-layer cloud patterns embroidered with gold thread. When he came out of the dust, he felt even more chilling. Lu Changqing tried it on the upper body and was really impressed by Qinzu's vision. Lu Chenshui looked at the handsome young man whose childishness had faded in the mirror, and her beautiful eyes couldn't help but be filled with brilliance. Mo Shang is as beautiful as jade, and the young master is unparalleled. Even if I don't deserve it. Lu Changqing was a little embarrassed by the praise. Lu Chenshui came behind Lu Changqing with a smile, took out her own ivory comb, carefully helped Lu Changqing arrange her hair, and then carefully pinned a jasper-carved hair bundle. Sir, it's ready. Ahem, how much does this set cost? Lu Changqing never dared to ask the price, but he should have to pay. Black Cloud Jade Crown. I got 30,000 spirit stones, but if you are a young master, you can enjoy a 50% discount. Lu Chenshui replied casually, as if 30,000 spirit stones for a daily outfit was still very cheap. Lu Changqing's heart was bleeding. Lu Yun Immortal Pavilion. This kind of place is really not something that ordinary people can afford. It's not a magic weapon, it's just for daily use, and it costs 30,000. Let's talk about it. Lu Changqing's action of pulling out the spiritual stone is still very cool and handsome, pay for it. Go out. It's dark outside. Just as Lu Changqing was about to leave, Lu Chenshui softly called out, "Sir, please stay." While talking, Lu Chenshui reached out and took out a Luyun pendant from her arms, and carefully put it into Lu Changqing's palm. "Young master, if you come back next time, if you show this jade, you can get a 50% discount on all the products in the pavilion." Lu Changqing felt the warmth of the beautiful lady in the jade pendant in his hand, and was a little surprised. 50% off the whole price, isn't it too much? Young master deserves it. Lu Chenshui took half a step back and leaned against the door of the Immortal Pavilion, feeling a bit sad. Ha! Lu Changqing smiled slightly and turned around gracefully. After he left, Wan Yu came out of the pavilion and said with a pout, "Miss, don't look, everyone is gone." "You girl, you want a beating." Lu Chenshui laughed and cursed, then returned to the pavilion. Just now, Wan Yu was supposed to be sent to serve Lu Changqing. The young man has a promising future. As a businessman, a small investment is necessary and very reasonable. But, the moment Lu Chenshui saw Lu Changqing, she suddenly changed her mind. Although she is still a girl who has not yet left the court, since she is in business, she naturally knows something and will not expose any flaws. Certainly, facing a young boy who is still young, no matter how many flaws there are, he can't see through them. "Miss, he doesn't even know your identity. If he regards us as those romantic women, wouldn't it be a big loss?" Wan Yu was still unhappy. "Xiao Nizi, are you jealous?" Lu Chenshui stretched out her hand and pinched the maid's face. "Hee, there's no point in being angry. I'm the one who robbed you today, so what can I do?" "Woohoo, miss, you have to pay compensation. Let Wan'er be on top tonight, right?" Wan Yu pretended to cry and threw herself into Lu Chenzu's arms. "HMPH, little girl, you are dreaming." Lu Chenshui pushed her away, sat cross-legged, and went into seclusion. Back home, my parents are still waiting for me to eat. Hire's father, look, Qinger is wearing this Taoist robe. He really looks like an immortal and a Taoist man. Su Wei pulled her son to her side and took a good look at him. "Now that you have mastered the swordsmanship, it's okay to go out for fun and relax." Lu Mingyuan glanced at it and said solemnly, "But don't be too indulgent. In the next month, you can give birth to Ben, go into seclusion, and seize the opportunity to break through and refine your qi. Expect. Remember, this is the first threshold for cultivating immortality. At the end of the month, the sect opens its doors to accept disciples. Students who are not in the qi refining stage will not be looked at. They are not even qualified to compete on stage." Lu Changqing thought for a while, and finally decided to speak. "Actually, I have broken through the qi refining stage." Snap! The old teacup in Lu Mingyuan's hand instantly fell to the ground and shattered into pieces. What did you say?" Lu Changqing paused and repeated. "The one who just broke through is at the first level of qi refining stage." Hiss! Lu Mingyuan really couldn't believe it. Could it be that smoke is really coming out of my Lu family's ancestral graves? No, I really have to go and see it tomorrow. Su Wei chuckled and said, "Look what I said, Qinger has been cultivating immortality since he was a child, but you are the only one who calls him stupid all day long." Okay, I was wrong." Lu Mingyuan happily begged for mercy and sat at the table. "Now that you have made a breakthrough, there is nothing I can teach you as a father. Take out the card. 80,000 spirit stones." Lu Mingyuan and Su Wei learned from each other throughout their lives and accumulated this little family wealth. "We can't help you much on the road to cultivating immortality, but the sect assessment at the end of the month is an opportunity for every cultivator to change his destiny. Just keep these spiritual stones. They can improve your efficiency a lot during retreat. Besides, in the qi refining period, there are levels and levels, and each level requires a spirit gathering pill to break through. Back then, your father and I had no financial resources after reaching the 8th level of cultivation. You are different. You must not follow in your father's footsteps. The low-grade spirit gathering pill has 3,000 spirit stones. Considering that the probability of breakthrough will be reduced in the later stage, at least about 50,000 spirit stones will be left for breakthrough, do you understand? Phew. Lu Changqing finally found a chance to interrupt, walked to the table and waved casually. There were 50,000 spiritual stones scattered. Actually, I earned a little bit from the dungeon. I can afford the spirit gathering pill myself, so I don't need it. Lu Mingyuan looked at the spirit stone and then at his son. Everyone is stupid. Can I still make money by placing a deposit? In which year were these anecdotes? I was. It was obviously taken care of by someone at a loss. After dinner, return to the room. Lu Changqing thought about tomorrow's copy and then remembered. And, I was in Luyun Immortal Pavilion just now. My eyes were full of snow, and I didn't even buy a single pill. Going again tomorrow. Is this consumption level excessive? Novice copy. It is impossible to pass the level with 300 points of spiritual power. Do the math. At least 1,000 spiritual power points are required. Now that the attack has been improved, it may be a little less, but it is still not enough. Right. If you want to break through the second level of chi refining, you will also need a spirit gathering pill. Hiss. Lu Changqing has finally realized that cultivating immortals costs money. 13th level of chi refining. That's 13 spirit gathering pills, each one of high quality, which is 1 million. If you want to break through the foundation building, it has to be calculated separately. Expensive, 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 expensive. Pills are also money, so save them if you can. Lu Changqing doesn't plan to buy any medicine. Anyway, he can break through the dungeon today, and he will be able to pass tomorrow even without medicine. Don't waste time either. Practice and recover at the same time. Perfect. Lu Changqing looked at the time. It took a long time to break through, and he and Qian Shui were delayed for a long time. It was already past midnight. Immortal cultivators don't lack much sleep. Lu Changqing was very energetic anyway, so he immediately took out his mental method. The secret of concentration. Qi refining period. Green. Rest and concentrate. Increasing can increase spiritual power. Click on the cultivation interface and put in the mental method. Basic bonus. Enlightenment efficiency plus 5%. Tip. Adding low-grade fine stones can increase efficiency by 30%. Low-grade fine stone. I really have this. Lu Changqing immediately took out 10 pieces of low-grade fine stones and put them all in. Start. Bite. While you were meditating on the technique, the golden entry was loaded. Comprehension is against the sky. When you were meditating, your comprehension plus 100. Bite. When you use materials, the golden entry is loaded. Transcendent effect. Increase practice efficiency by 200%. 136 points of understanding. 200% efficiency bonus. Today, I have realized this mental method. Look at the experience bar again. 5 100ths. Lu Changqing has just entered the state and has 5 points of experience. Stable. As time goes by, the improvement in understanding experience is almost visible to the naked eye. Less than 2 hours. Bite. Perception is successful. You have understood the method of concentration and determination. Continue. Lu Changqing didn't stop. Comprehension alone was not enough. He had to load the entries. Another 2 hours passed. Bite. With successful enlightenment, your concentration method has entered the stage of beginner learning. Phew. The sky is cloudy and it is almost dawn. Lu Changqing took a breath and clicked on the hard method interface. The secret of concentration. Qi refining period. Green. Quiet and concentrate. Increase spiritual power by 30 points. Beginner's introduction. When meditating, spiritual energy recovery speed is accelerated by 10%. Bite. When you meditated on the method of concentration and concentration, you loaded the golden entry. Extraordinary spiritual power plus 300 points. One mind. Introductory entry. The effect bonus is even more exaggerated than that of a normal monk in the Qi refining stage. Lu Changqing is very satisfied with the effect. With more than 600 points of spiritual power, the efficiency of cost reduction can be said to be greatly improved. There is still some time, why not come to another level? Lu Changqing looked at the comprehension interface. The low-grade fine stone consumes 1 stone per hour, and there are still 6 of them left. Rush, finish it. Mental method. Introduction to beginners. 10/200. Beginner's introduction. 30/200. 4 hours passed and the sun rose high. Bite. Perception has been successful. Your concentration method has already reached the level of quite proficient. Bite. When you meditated on the method of concentration, you loaded the golden entry. Without distractions, at any time, you can concentrate to restore your spiritual power, 5 points per second. It turned out to be a restoration entry. Golden. Lu Changqing was once again shocked by the power of the golden entry. Ordinary entries. Recovery increased by 10% while meditating. Golden entry. Anytime, 5 points per second. Gap. Is this the difference between mortals and immortals? Lu Changqing thought to himself, if he could recover just 1 more point and use his sword skills, wouldn't it be useless? It doesn't seem right. Sword skills are used twice per second, and the cost is 12 points. I currently only have 5 points, which is still not enough. It doesn't matter. Lu Changqing was not in a hurry at all. The concentration method is only quite proficient now. If you practice successfully in the future, you will naturally get bonuses and golden entries. Double gold. This is the first book with double golden entries. Excellent value for money. After all, Lu Changqing just spent 1 night. Walk. Go and brush up today's notebook. Make money and cultivate. You can do both. If the daily income is enough, then I might be able to break through to the peak of the qi refining period within 10 days. Let's not talk about foundation building for now. With this peak level of cultivation in the qi refining stage alone, you should be able to find a good sect, right? The world of cultivating immortals. It is unrealistic not to worship the sect. Nangong Lee was right what he said yesterday. Dharma and wealth couple Earth Master. The most important thing is this method. Notice. How many thoughts are there in this world? Concentration technique is just one of them, and it is only green. Although, for mental methods with the same effect, only the one with the highest cultivation level will take effect. But the mental method has many effects. There are different mental methods for life, spiritual power, attack, defense, and even speed and understanding. These thoughts don't talk about how much money it costs to buy. I'm afraid, even if you have a fortune of hundreds of millions and a large number of spiritual stones, you can't buy excellent mental skills at all. According to Nangong Lee, nowadays, the techniques for cultivating immortals are under the control of aristocratic families and sects. Therefore, this sect must be entered. You must also participate in the sect assessment at the end of the month. Unless, Lu Changqing secretly thought in his heart, unless you can explode your mind and martial arts every time you copy, you must pass this level. Go downstairs. Zhou Yue squatted at the door of the community in an extremely obscene posture, and beside him, there was a beautiful figure wearing a blue Taoist robe. Nangong Lee. Lu Changqing could only smile helplessly and stepped forward slowly. Nangong Lee waited for a long time and immediately spotted the jade-crowned young man in black cloud Taoist robes in front of him. Handsome. Of course he is handsome. It's a pity that he is not the person this girl wants. Nangong Lee just glanced at it, then withdrew his gaze, returned to where he was and continued to wait. It wasn't until Lu Changqing walked up to the two of them that Zhou Yue raised his head, frowned and said, "Handsome guy, who are you? I haven't seen you for a day, are you blind?" Lu Changqing didn't believe it. Didn't he recognize this? Puff. Lu Changqing. Zhou Yue heard the voice and finally recognized it, but he didn't believe it, so he rushed over to check. These facial features look a bit like my brother. What do you mean? It's okay. Lu Changqing sighed softly. What are you doing here? The words have not yet fallen. Nangong Lee came up with big twinkling eyes. Brother Changqing, you. Excited. When she got excited, she forgot all the words she had memorized all night yesterday. Take courage. Looking at Lu Changqing again, his heart was beating everywhere in his chest like a deer. A face with peerless beauty was stained with clouds in an instant. Zhou Yue knew this as soon as he saw the situation. Finished. Princess Li's Taoist heart has been lost, and all the strategies have been forgotten. Ahem. Changqing, are you okay today? Why don't you take your brother to another class? No problem. Lu Changqing responded immediately. 2 brothers in 1 generation, who will I take with you if I don't take you? Okay, that's enough, brother. Zhou Yue praised. I have decided to give you a 20% discount on the elixirs I make from now on. Quote. Lu Changqing suddenly fell silent. Yue, when will you change your stingy habits? 20% off. I get a 50% discount on going to Luyun Immortal Pavilion. Do you understand? Ah, Zhou Yue looked like he had swallowed an ostrich egg. 20% off is not enough. The profit of pills is very low, especially for a novice like me. There are many failures and the cost is high. Etc. Luyun Immortal Pavilion will give you a 50% discount. Impossible. Let's talk about it first. It's not like brothers are talking nonsense. The only thing a store with a great reputation like that can do is probably break your bones. Lu Changqing. Nangong Lee slapped his heart beside him and finally recovered a little. Brother Changqing, 50% off is impossible. The general profit for store products is 50%. But, this is gross profit. If you include store and personnel costs, selling at a 50% discount is a 100% loss. The biggest discount we have is 30% off. In the past 100 years, we have only given out 30% off black gold cards to 3 geniuses from Qingyan Prefecture. Do you still need a card? Lu Changqing suddenly felt a little unconfident. Why do I only have a jade pendant? Jade pendant. Nangong Lee pursed her lips. Can I take a look? Lu Changqing took out the jade pendant with one hand behind his back. This is Lu Yunpei. Nangong Lee gently rubbed the jade pendant twice. The jade has excellent quality, special aura, and is shiny and moist. It is obviously the result of being nourished by aura all year round. It seems, is it real? Nangong Lee stuck out her tongue playfully. Sorry, I have never seen the Lu Yunpei of Luyun Immortal Pavilion, but this one is probably real. Zhou Yue smacked his lips. The jade pendant is not a gold card, so can it be discounted? Nangong Lee nodded slightly and explained. The highest level gold card in Luyun Immortal Pavilion is Lu Yunpei. However, 100 years ago, after the old pavilion master personally took back the last Lu Yunpei, he announced to the outside world that he would never give out Lu Yunpei again. At most, he only had 30% off Luyun gold card. Puff. Zhou Yue spurted out and was completely confused. Can you really get a discount? Break a bone. Nangong Lee shook his head seriously. Broken bones are unlikely, but Lu Yunpei is famous because you can get a 50% discount. 50% off. Isn't this called a fracture? Zhou Yue almost vomited 3 liters of blood. Brother, aren't you really rich? With a 50% discount gold card, you can make money on everything you buy. You can make money with blood. Fake. Lu Changqing originally didn't believe there would be a 50% discount. It was just a joke with Zhou Yue that he revealed this. Now that Nangong Lee said that Luyun Immortal Pavilion would no longer issue Lu Yunpei, then the one in his hand must be fake. But it doesn't matter. It's just a token. Care about authenticity. On the contrary, it is the most fake thing. Lu Changqing smiled and said, it's just a joke. Nangong, do you want to form a team with us today? Yeah, Nangong Lee nodded happily, and then cautiously stepped forward, gently tugging on the sleeves of Lu Changqing's Taoist robe with both hands. Brother Changqing can call me Leer, is that okay? Lu Changqing naturally wouldn't mind and nodded in agreement. I didn't want to form a team yesterday. I just don't feel confident enough to form a team. Since we have brothers to take care of today, it doesn't matter if we have one more or one less. Only, there are so many materials out there that it's probably hard to explain. Actually, it doesn't matter if it explodes occasionally, right? Luck. It's all luck. All the way to Diangshan Square. Nangong Lee acted like a little bird throughout the whole process, pulling on Lu Changqing's sleeves and sticking them together. When everyone saw Lu Changqing and his party, they immediately started talking in low voices. Everyone, please stand back a little, this is a killer. The destiny is extraordinary, just hold it in your mouth. A classmate said, if you don't say he is Lu Changqing, I wouldn't dare to recognize him. Look, as long as the destiny is fulfilled, even the little princess of the Nangong family can be like a bird. It's over, it's over. I'm afraid it will be difficult to avenge the Han family. After all, the strength of the Nangong family is quite good. Not necessarily. I heard that the elder of Changqing sect is very angry. In one day, many disciples of Changqing sect were punished. That's right, purple destiny is not much in the first place. It is said that the elder himself is also the descendant of the King of Spears. We have the same destiny, so we can be said to be the best successors. Hey, it turned out that the person died before going up the mountain. What a big deal. Everyone, new news. It is said that the Changqing sect issued a murder order for the Underworld and offered a reward of 1 million spiritual stones for Lu Changqing's head. Hiss. 1 million. Everyone gasped. That's not all. It is said that as long as you lift his head, you can worship the inner sect of Changqing sect. Of course, if you have another master, you can choose any of the 3 blue mind spells and take them away. Money attracts people. The 3-year blue mental technique even excited the crowd to marvel. When Lu Changqing heard about the reward, he secretly beat his heart. Han Shu, you actually have such a background. I've never heard of it in school before. Nangong Lee also noticed it, and immediately stood up and said, Brother Changqing, don't panic, if he is just an elder of the Changqing sect, Lear can take care of it for him. Don't worry, why bother you with this kind of thing? Settle it down. Yesterday, a life and death certificate was signed. There was a judge from heaven as a witness. No one can say anything and no one can take revenge. This is the rule. His Zhanqian sect doesn't just dare to break the rules of the world of immortality, right? Lu Changqing had considered before taking action that no matter how troublesome it was, he would not let Nangong Lee take the responsibility for him. Nangong Lee was still worried. It's groundless. The gangster's fatwa is 80% true. Although there is a heavenly judge of life and death, they don't dare to break the rules openly. But the gangster is not within the rules. Brother, you have to be careful. Lu Changqing knew this in his heart and just used it to comfort her. However, the Underworld also has Underworld rules. There is a Jindan period city lord in Linhai City, who is in charge of one side. In addition, the surrounding sects have industries and businesses in the city. The rules have long been stated. Private fighting is prohibited in the city. If cultivators want to compete, they must go through the judgment of heaven. If there is an accident and you kill someone by mistake, you can take revenge, but you must also challenge it in the form of a life and death battle, and you cannot do it in private. If the other party doesn't agree to a life or death fight, you can scold him, but you still can't do it in private. Without rules, there is no square or circle. A mortal cultivator. Even mortals without chi refining period can easily kill people as long as they can understand a martial art and spiritual method. If there were no rules and regulations, wouldn't it have been chaos a long time ago? Certainly. The rules are only within the city. If you go outside the city, everything is no longer within the rules. Think of this. Lu Changqing sighed secretly. As expected, Nangong Lee came from a noble family and knew the ways of cultivating the world of immortality. A powerful master. Real. Very important. If Han Shu revealed the name of the elder of the Changqing sect yesterday, even the monks in the chi refining stage would be frightened if they heard it, right? Because of what happened yesterday. He has no magic weapon to protect himself and his health is low. If you can't kill the opponent with one move, you will definitely die. Actually, there is no alternative. Lu Changqing didn't think too much and didn't regret yesterday's decision. A person who practices Taoism. Killing is inevitable. If you are trapped by killing, you will inevitably develop inner demons in the future. Let's go. Download the book. Lu Changqing clicked on the dungeon interface and selected the team mode. Byte. Your team has entered the novice copy. Basic bonus. Number of spirit stones dropped plus 5%. Byte. When you enter the dungeon, the golden entry is loaded. Lost luck. There are 3 treasure chests in the copy, one of which must be a golden treasure chest. Lots of luck. Lu Changqing didn't feel much luck. When I went out in the morning, I bumped into Nangong Lee. Before I even finished the book, I found out about the Underworld's pursuit order with $1 million reward. It's hard to finish the book. As a result, the entry came out, and it turned out that it was not 10 times the material. Materials make money and are safe. Treasure chests are also good. But the dungeon itself has a treasure chest, so what color does it matter? As long as you open it yourself, you will definitely withdraw money. So, the entry about overwhelming luck actually only has 2 more golden treasure chests. I hope some good stuff comes out. Lu Changqing is short of money now. The Underworld's fatwa hanging over your head is always a problem. Realm. This is not something you can decide. Your understanding is full and you are full of materials, but cultivating immortality is difficult and slow, and there is nothing you can do about it. The only solution. Just make money as soon as possible and buy some magic weapons for self-protection. In the city, with your own life, plus magic weapons, it is best to have a defensive mind method, then even if the foundation building monks come, they can still be entangled for a while. In the city, above the sky, above the flying swords that occasionally plunder, are not necessarily the swordsmen who are showing off, but may also be the law enforcement team responsible for public security. Those are all sword cultivators in the foundation establishment stage, and they are very powerful. As long as you can hold on for a while and wait for the law enforcement team to arrive, there will be no danger. Brother, the puppet wood demon is very stupid. Let's see how Lear takes care of it. Nangong Lee entered the dungeon and immediately became confident. He looked up and saw a wooden puppet, and he immediately volunteered and walked up. She grabbed it in the air with her right hand, and a ball of blue water appeared. Nangong Lee gathered her spiritual power and struck with her palm. Monster, watch your moves. Snap. The water ball in the air was shattered by her palm, and under the influence of spiritual power, it instantly condensed into ice, and then exploded into a cloud of ice flakes, which were blasted out. Puff puff puff. The wooden demon didn't react in time, and his whole body was immediately filled with ice flakes. -5, -9, -7. A series of injuries appeared. Although they were not high, the number of injuries was many, at least 7 or 8 times. This is still the result of the dispersion of ice flakes over a long distance. If it were hit at close range and dozens of ice flakes smashed down, it would really be possible to kill the wood demon in seconds. Not now. Although the wooden puppet in front of him was seriously injured, he was not dead yet. He was roaring at several people, pulling out the branches from his body as a weapon, and beating them. He's not dead yet. Nangong Lee secretly thought it was a pity. She originally wanted to show her face in front of her brother, but it turned out that she seemed a little unsure of the distance. Brother, let's take a few steps back. The ice-breaking palm needs 5 seconds to cool down. Spiritual method. Generally the cooling time is longer. It can't be compared with martial arts. But the damage burst ability and martial skills are not as good as spiritual methods. Don't move. Lu Changqing held her with his left hand, used his right hand to point his sword, and slashed down diagonally. The next second, the green sword energy followed Lu Changqing's movements and slashed down in the air. Click. As soon as the branches touched, they all broke in unison. Follow closely. The sword energy slashed downwards, directly splitting the severely injured puppet wood demon. You're so handsome, brother. Zhou Yue exclaimed in shock. Even though you looked a little bit picky yesterday, but today I see that your swordsmanship has reached the level of a fortress. It's amazing, I admire you. After death, the puppet wood demon exploded the material, and the remaining spiritual energy did not enter the eyebrows of the 3 people. Lu Changqing gained 1 point of cultivation. Nangong Lee gained 1 point of cultivation. Zhou Yue also gained 1 point of cultivation. This is the aura of a monster after its death. It doesn't matter who contributes, who hangs up, or who paddles. As long as the distance is enough. Reiki is distributed evenly. Zhou Yue was destined to make alchemy. He only had the qualifications to make alchemy. The other attributes were similar to Zhou Yue's. If he doesn't improve his realm, he can only understand the simplest alchemy technique and use the basic 100 points of spiritual power to make alchemy. He cannot master the profound alchemy skills, nor can he control the advanced alchemy fire. So, alchemists also need to cultivate their realm. The other weapon refiners and beast control masters also need to cultivate. It is very difficult for them to cultivate on their own. Basically, they rely on other monks to bring them out bit by bit. But, because alchemists and weapon refiners don't have to fight, they don't need to understand various mental methods, various martial arts and spiritual methods. They only need to focus on their cultivation and alchemy, which is not too difficult. Brother, it was Lear who made a mistake just now. Nangong Lee pouted a little stubbornly. Next time I will kill that monster. Ha ha. Lu Changqing smiled casually. Place a copy with me, and you can just hang up. Said. Lu Changqing strode towards the depths of the forest. 2 wooden puppets on the left and right appeared at the same time. Swish. Lu Changqing stabbed 2 in a row, 1 on each side. Phew, phew. The 2 wooden demons were penetrated by the sword energy at the same time, and materials exploded together. Ah! Everyone Nangong Lee looked at was stunned. Sword repair. So handsome. Ah! Isn't he so powerful? Zhou Yue was busy picking up materials. Haha, materials, spiritual stones, these are all money. Hehehehe, a pile is dozens of dollars. Wow, wow wow wow. Lu Changqing glanced at it. Puppet wood, 4 pieces. Wood spirit crumbs, 2 pieces. Spiritual stones, 15 pieces. That's it. To be honest, when Lu Changqing saw the pitiful amount of materials, he didn't even want to pick them up. Not enough to make a group. The selling price of 3 spiritual stones. Together they can't even make up 100 spirit stones. So poor. Kill and then leave. The wood puppet in the copy. Lu Changqing didn't search very carefully yesterday and only killed 30 of them. The explosion rate is low today, so we must kill them all. After a few minutes, Lu Changqing led the 2 of them through the forest. When the walk is over, the killing is over. It was carnage all the way. There were more than 50 of them in total. After solving them, we went straight to the gravel ridge. Brother, the giant stone demon here has very high defense and will roll around. Be careful. Nangong Lee didn't finish his words. Then he saw a green sword energy piercing out from Lu Changqing's fingers, hitting the giant stone demon's heart directly. -227 a knowing blow. Bang! The entire giant stone demon exploded on the spot, killing it instantly. Nangong Lee. Zhou Yue. Kill, you can kill anything. You will make a fortune, ha 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 ha. Lu Changqing. Luck, I accidentally made a mistake. Real. Lu Changqing knew that was the key point, but after all, the opponent was protected by thick stone armor. And, even if it hits the vital point, it may not be 100% sure. Next, Lu Changqing climbed up the gravel ridge alone, killing all the stone monsters one by one with ease. At last, the old boulder demon slowly climbed up from the gravel mountain. Lu Changqing glanced at his spiritual power and found that he had more than 400 points left. Comfortable. With high spiritual power and quick recovery, it's a pure profit. Lu Changqing stood on a higher piece of gravel, pointed his sword directly at the old demon's heart, and fired his sword energy continuously. Whoosh whoosh. Streams of sword energy passed through the air, hitting the old demon again and again. Rocks flew. The old demon roared, but just as it raised its head, most of the stone armor covering its body was shattered. When it was about to attack, 2 sword energy burst out from its heart. Bang! The old boulder demon did nothing but roar throughout the whole process. Ah, is it over? Nangong Lee asked blankly. Zhou Yue had already rushed to pick up the materials. Old monster. Hehe, these are all good materials. Hundreds of spiritual stones have been exploded, so. 1 second Zhou Yue was still talking to himself, and the next second he was completely frozen in place. Brother, we seem to be really developed. Zhou Yue rubbed his eyes fiercely with both hands, the golden light in front of him was still dazzling. No, it doesn't seem like it. Ahahaha, golden treasure chest, we are really developed. After hearing this, Lu Changqing replied, really? Then our luck is pretty good. When Zhou Yue heard this, he almost jumped up in anger. What does it mean to be good? This is called overwhelming luck. Gold, gold, do you know what gold is? Lu Changqing pursed his lips. I understand a little. Is there really a golden treasure chest? Nangong Lee still felt a little surprised until his eyes were illuminated by the golden light. Rumors, I have only heard in rumors, that the novice copy will also have a golden treasure chest. Look at the entire Qingyan prefecture. I feel like it's been at least 1,000 years, and no one has encountered it in the novice copy. Hehe, Zhou Yue said proudly, have you seen it? This is the unparalleled luck of our 2 brothers. From now on, if you hang out with me, I guarantee that you will be popular and drink spicy food. Lu Changqing originally felt good, but now he looked at him in surprise. I really, thank you. You're welcome. Zhou Yue waved his hands carelessly and said, among the 2 brothers in this world, who calls me the most loyal person? Come on, I'll leave this matter of unpacking to you. Lu Changqing, you actually know how to be polite. Zhou Yue, no, this is called metaphysics. My luck has been used up in finding the treasure chest. Now it all depends on you whether you can find the best one and soar into the sky. Bang bang, don't be stressed. Even if a gray magic weapon is used, my brother will not blame you. Zhou Yue patted Lu Changqing's shoulder solemnly. Come on. I have lent you my luck, go ahead. For the first time, Lu Changqing felt that this guy was probably seriously ill and needed to take medicine. Fortunately, what he awakened was the destiny of the alchemist. From now on, taking medicine will be settled. Click, click, click. Lu Changqing didn't waste any time. He walked up to the boxes and opened all 3 boxes. Bite. When you opened the treasure chest, the golden entry was loaded. Golden treasure, the treasure chest you open must be golden. Lu Changqing was relieved. Don't say anything. When it comes to opening gold in the box, I have completely mastered it. Bite. You have obtained the first-grade magic weapon, the soul-residing jade. Bite. You have gained a ray of thunder spirit chi. Bite. You have obtained the foundation building pill. 3 things. The only thing Lu Changqing had ever heard of was the foundation establishment pill. Cultivation and foundation building. What is missing most? Foundation building pill. I am still at the first level of the chi refining stage, and yet I got the foundation establishment pill. Isn't it really a stroke of luck? Zhou Yue's eyes turned red. What a good thing. Foundation establishment pill. I actually touched the foundation establishment pill with my own hands. Don't move. Nangong Lee shouted, almost frightening Zhou Yue to death. No, Princess Lee, the thing belongs to my brother and your boyfriend, but it's not okay for me to touch it, right? No, Nangong Lee refused, and took out a delicate wooden box that exuded the scent of red sandalwood. Finally, he took out the silk scarf from his arms and carefully laid it out in the box. Then, with gentle water spirit, he slowly wrapped the foundation establishment pill and put it into the box. Finish these. Nangong Lee finally breathed a sigh of relief. The most expensive, most difficult to refine, and rarest foundation building pill among the first-grade pills, its efficacy is easily damaged. Looking at the quality of this medicine, it is at least top grade. If the effect of the medicine is damaged due to carelessness, that would be a sin. So careful, that must be expensive, right? Lu Changqing asked. How many spiritual stones are needed for a foundation building pill? Nangong Lee raised a finger. 100,000. Lu Changqing suddenly became interested. Looking at it this way, the profit from unboxing copies is actually higher than the materials. One foundation building pill will make you rich. Not to mention the magic weapons and materials. No, Nangong Lee shook his little head continuously. 100,000 is the price of an ordinary foundation establishment pill. This one is worth at least 1 million. Poof. Zhou Yue spit out a mouthful of blood on the spot, but Nangong Lee was disgusted and stayed away. Is something wrong with you? If something happens, I'll go a little further. The best elixirs have a spiritual effect, and it is not appropriate to stay with the dead. Poof. Zhou Yue spat out a mouthful of blood again. Brother, I can't do it anymore. I urgently need a foundation building pill to save my life. Lu Changqing wanted to save him a second ago, but now he just wants to stay away from him. 1 million foundation building pills. It seems that this cultivation of immortality and foundation building is not something ordinary people can do. In the chi refining period, you will need 13 high-grade spirit gathering pills alone. If it goes down to hundreds of thousands, it will take another 1 million to break through the foundation building. Zhou Yue wiped the corners of his mouth, jumped up again, and said enviously. If you can really build a foundation, you will be considered an upper-level monk. 200 years of life, stimulating fire to refine elixirs, palming thunder to kill evil. With such a heaven-defying income, even if it costs 1 million spiritual stones, it can't be considered expensive, right? Lu Changqing thought about it too. Even if we don't talk about everything, just live a life of 200 yuan. Is there a price? Priceless. Nangong Lee stared at Zhou Yue with a sympathetic expression. What are you dreaming about? Just want to build the foundation of heaven for 1 million. How is it possible? Embarrassed, Zhou Yue was confused. Lu Changqing didn't know whether he should answer the call. Nangong Lee handed over the box of the elixir. Brother, it is best to store this elixir in a space ring. If you don't have one, I will give you one when you return to the shop. Zhou Yue raised his hand angrily. Excuse me, what kind of ring can I have? Nangong Lee. No. Zhou Yue. Okay, princess, I receive it. Lu Changqing really had a ring, so he put away the elixir first. You just talked about building the foundation of heaven, why didn't I mention it in the book? Now when it comes to foundation building, it's actually a bit far away. Nangong Lee thought for a moment and explained. This foundation establishment pill is expensive, but its effect is not to significantly increase the success rate of foundation establishment. Ah, Zhou Yue asked in confusion. Then why is it so expensive? Nangong Lee said firmly, because it is the material for building the foundation of heaven. As long as the foundation can be successfully built, you will gain various attributes that far exceed ordinary foundation building. Even the various qualifications and spiritual roots of the monks will be greatly improved. Quote. Hiss. If this is the case, Lu Changqing must consider it. There is such a big difference between ordinary foundation building and heavenly foundation building. Future. If you are building a foundation normally and encounter an enemy who is building a foundation in heaven, all your advantages will be lost and you may even lose. Nangong Lee glanced at Lu Changqing, who was deep in thought, and reminded him, what's more important is that by building the foundation of heaven, you can get an extra chance to change your destiny. You don't have to wait for the golden elixir stage to awaken another destiny entry. Quote. Then, there is no choice. We must build the foundation of heaven. For Lu Changqing, the difference between the two types of foundation building is simply worlds of difference. One more destiny entry. Value. Must be worth it. Because of yourself, you will inevitably be loaded with golden destiny. This way, the relevant materials are expensive. That can only be said that it makes sense to be expensive. Nangong Lee looked at other boxes at this time, and his whole person suddenly seemed a little confused and sluggish. How is this another heavenly foundation building material? Lei Ling is so angry. If you buy it, even if it's worth more than 1 million, it may not be in stock. If you collect it yourself, you will need to go to Thunder Cloud Valley 800 miles away, and it will take 3 to 5 years to collect it. Lu Changqing. One kind of heavenly Dao foundation building material is 1 million. Stop talking. I understand. This heavenly Dao foundation establishment has no chance unless it takes out 10 million spirit stones. At last, there is only one magic weapon left. When Nangong Lee picked it up and took a look, his little head almost tilted to Lu Changqing's ears. This kind of rare magic weapon can also be obtained by a novice copy. Magic weapon. Functions vary. Not all are fighting. Of course, this will lead to magic weapons that are actually of little use. Lu Changqing knew very little about magic weapons. Because it's expensive. Magical instruments are necessary items for monks and are very expensive. Magic weapon. Not a must-have for monks, but more expensive. Because the magic weapon has functions and effects that cannot be possessed by weapons. Lu Changqing took out the magic weapon. Soul Jade. First grade magic weapon. Green. After condensation, a ray of soul can be stored in the magic weapon. If one's own soul dies, the ray of soul in the magic weapon will be completed and reborn. Refining requirements. Qi refining period. After rebirth, the realm and cultivation level will be reduced by 50%. Can I be reborn? Lu Changqing let out a low cry, secretly frightened. He knew that this side of the world of immortality possessed a magic weapon with the function of rebirth. But, totally unexpected, such a precious and rare magic weapon can actually be obtained in the novice copy. In front of the Soul Jade, the remaining $2 million Tiandao Foundation building materials also looked dim. This is a priceless treasure. Because life is priceless. Nangong Lee congratulated happily. Brother, now you have to break through the Qi refining period and refine this treasure, so you don't have to worry about being chased and attacked by the Underworld. The Qi refining period is not a problem. I already am. But Lu Changqing was still a little unbelievable and asked, can it be resurrected just by refining? Nangong Lee added, well, it's still a little complicated. After this treasure is refined, materials for rebirth and body shaping need to be added. Then, this treasure cannot be carried on the body and must be placed in a safe place. Lear's home is safe, and there are materials. I'll take my brother there later. Hiss. Lu Changqing thought about it, but still didn't agree directly. Soul jade must be kept properly. Nangong Lee, it seems there is no problem, but after all, she comes from a noble family. It was no ordinary place. It can be seen from her eagerness to find a Taoist companion. There are some things that even she herself may not be able to decide. There's no hurry, there's no rush, I already have the soul jade. I just have to wait for it to be refined before I think about where to put it safely. Lu Changqing was in a good mood. Take the two of them and leave the dungeon directly. Who knows? As soon as the few people came out of the dungeon, 3 golden light pillars dropped from the sky above Diangshan Square, illuminating the few people. Byte. Linhai City Novice Copy. The fastest and perfect clearance record is born. The team led by Lu Changqing killed all the demons in 7 minutes and 49 seconds without any injuries and successfully cleared the novice copy. Congratulations! The magnificent sound of heaven has just fallen. The names of Lu Changqing, Zhou Yue, and Nangong Lee turned into shining golden fonts and hung above Diangshan Square. So dazzling, so eye-catching. You can see it all over the city. Moment. The 3 of them became the focus of the audience. No way, we've been playing there for so long, and we're still the fastest. Lu Changqing really found it incredible. Nangong Lee put his head close to him and whispered, "Brother, is there a possibility that others can't even clear the level? Just beating the wood demon, how many hours will it take to get out?" Zhou Yue nodded secretly. Speaking of it, they have to fight for a long time, but is it really that difficult? I don't think it is difficult, not at all. You don't need to kill me, of course it's not difficult. Nangong Lee glared at him speechlessly. How do you think my level compares to this class of students in the city? Zhou Yue, first class. If you don't brag, he's just flattering you. Nangong Lee's level among students is really first-rate, and he is also the top among the first-rate students. Considering the family background, how many students can compare with it? Purple Destiny. A school can only survive with 3 or 4 students, but no more than 5. Nangong Lee suddenly became confident and smiled. On the day I awakened, I broke through to the chi refining stage. Now I can kill the wood demons with one palm, but after killing a few, I have to meditate and take medicine to restore my spiritual power. Quote. As for the stone monster behind, it has high defense and high health, and is much more difficult to kill. You can only take your time. Ignoring the old demon, I think it will take at least 3 or 4 hours to kill him. Lu Changqing seemed to understand. I seem to have overlooked something. Qi gathering pill. It is true that it can restore spiritual power. But this recovery speed is not instantaneous. Even if you cooperate with meditation, you still need to wait a few minutes for it to be full. Zhou Yue nodded slightly. It makes sense, but that day, didn't you say that the novice dungeon was very simple and you wanted to lead us through it? Hehe, now if you think about it, Princess Tangtang Li can also brag. Nangong Lee almost choked. How can you talk nonsense? After clearing the dungeon, everyone talks about killing wood demons, only wood demons. Didn't the teacher say when he taught you that the giant stone demon must at least have can a monk in the chi refining stage lead a team to kill? This seems to be the case. Zhou Yue suddenly returned to his senses. Don't talk about the stone monster, we even killed the last old monster. In previous years, it would have been at least a week before there were teams to attack the old monster, right? Nangong Lee nodded seriously. Yeah, you can't kill the old monster at the beginning, even I can't. That old monster's defense is too high, and its health is ridiculous. You have to rest and recover. It recovers faster than you. There is absolutely no way. In previous years, the first kill of this old demon was done by 5 geniuses in the chi refining stage with Purple Destiny who formed a team together. After being fully prepared, they went to strangle together. That's it, Lu Changqing secretly said. Even I was left with information gaps due to the overly simple customs clearance process. The sword has extraordinary power. 100 points of attack power. Convert destiny. That's not right. It cannot be converted into destiny. Because awakening destiny is all about qualifications and spiritual roots, basically no attack power is added. Even if added, there are only a few points, which are purely incidental attributes of blue and purple destiny. A magical weapon during the chi refining period. Generally, the attack power is 5 points. No matter how good the purple color is, it only has 15 attack power points. A golden magical weapon during the chi refining period. Never heard of it. I don't know if there is. Senior brother Lu, at Daomen School on Sha Qinshan Road, Li Wei, I have long admired you. Lu Changqing looked at the boy in front of him who reported his family name, frowned and said, "Are we going to compete?" No, no, no. Li Hui's legs were so frightened that he quickly laughed and said, "I dare to ask, is there still a pendant missing on my senior brother's thigh? Although I have a green destiny, I have learned a lot of skills in seducing monsters and picking up materials." What? Zhou Yuwei became angry when he heard this. This guy looks like an upright guy, but he didn't expect that he was here to do some work. Brother, you're late. Let's talk about it next year. Of course, Lu Changqing had no interest in hanging a living person on his leg. Just about to leave. Next to him, a large group of people came around with cheers and cheers. Senior brother Lu, please add me as a friend. I'll be there whenever you call me, and I can do anything you want. Senior brother is so handsome, can you practice dual cultivation with me? Nangong Lee's face suddenly darkened, and she squeezed a magic trick with her hand, and a ball of water instantly condensed into ice flakes. Anyone who doesn't want to die, please stay away from me, young lady. As soon as these words came out, the crowd was intimidated and actually retreated a lot. Lu Changqing thought, it turns out that fists are more useful. But I'm afraid this trick won't work well if I use it myself. As soon as the sword energy comes out, whoever is struck will die. Lu Changqing took this opportunity, pulled Nangong Lee and quickly left Diongxian Square. Too scary. The crowd just now was surrounding me in a dark way, and I'm afraid I won't be able to get out at all if I don't use any means. But, got to the street. All the pedestrians held their heads high and looked at the sky. Lu Changqing was completely at a loss. Then, that font won't disappear. Nangong Lee shook his head slightly. Heavens, congratulations will take at least one day. Lu Changqing was surprised and slowly looked sideways. You can't be serious, are we? Do we really want to hang up there for a day? We won't die in society, right? Social death. Nangong Lee didn't understand it at all. Instead, he hugged Lu Changqing's arm happily and said, "My brother is a destined immortal and has been appointed by heaven. He should be congratulated by the whole city." The whole city. When Lu Changqing heard this word, he really felt a little bad. At the same time, a few blocks away at Daomen School on Wangshan Road, Principal Lee suddenly stood up and looked at the sky outside the window. Heaven comes. Lu Changqing. His golden destiny is actually useful. Principal Lee cried out at his own stupidity. Golden destiny. How can there be a completely useless golden destiny? Is the way of heaven stupid? Or is it deliberately manipulating people? Bang! The dean of students drove a flying sword and crashed into the office. Principal, I found out that Lu Changqing mastered swordsmanship in one day, so his destiny must be of great use. Nonsense. Principal Lee rolled his eyes at him angrily and pointed to the shining golden characters in the sky. Now even a fool knows that he has an extraordinary destiny. Ah, the dean secretly said. Isn't this the investigation you wanted? Now you are not investigating. Check it. Principal Lee shouted. Now, immediately, come back to find Lu Changqing. The school will reward him well. This time I got some blood, so I curry favor. If he succeeds in the golden elixir in the future, then our school will be regarded as enlightened and ascended to heaven. Ha ha ha. Lu Changqing originally wanted to go to Luyun Immortal Pavilion to sell some materials and buy a spirit gathering pill for later use. But Nangong Lee refused and dragged him to Nangong Bao Pavilion. Brother, give it. What is this? Lu Changqing looked at a thin black spiritual jade in his hand, with the word, Nangong, engraved on it in seal script. Our black gold card offers 30% off on everything. This time, it should be really 30% off. Lu Changqing felt a little embarrassed. It's not necessary. In fact, I can't buy much. At this time, an old man with a rickety figure appeared next to Nangong Lee. He chuckled and said, as the young lady's Taoist companion, it is reasonable for Master Lu to accept this card. Lu Changqing was stunned. Wait, when will I? Oh, Uncle Fu, go and get busy. Nangong Lee pushed the old man aside with a blushing face. He. Uncle Fu begged for mercy with a smile on his face. Yes, I will leave now. Zhou Yue pointed at himself. What about me? Nangong Lee's face darkened, and she pointed casually. Leave the materials behind, you can leave. Zhou Yue's teeth itched with anger. Okay. Are you trying to burn bridges? Hey, yesterday's teaching as a teacher was really wasted. Goodbye. Nangong Lee quickly cleared the place. Immediately. Jumping all the way, he pulled Lu Changqing to the private room. Brother, do you want some tea? This year's latest immortal tea is delicious. Lu Changqing smiled bitterly and shook his head. Leer, what on earth are you going to do? Brother is really, we are Taoist couples, what else can we do? As Nangong Lee spoke, she blushed first, but she was not afraid. Instead, she put her head behind Lu Changqing's ear. Sniff sniff. Brother, you smell so good, Nangong Lee said, then she fell softly behind Lu Changqing. By the way, brother, do you know about dual cultivation? Listen to the mosquitoes humming in your ears. Lu Changqing could only say, sorry, this area of knowledge is too professional and I don't understand it very well. Ah, Nangong Lee suddenly stood up. That's too bad, I don't understand very well. What? Lu Changqing said silently. I saw that when you said it yesterday, you seemed to understand it very well. Nangong Lee shook his head foolishly. Leer only knows that dual cultivation can improve cultivation, but she doesn't know how to operate it specifically. But it's okay. Leer can learn. Lu Changqing was slightly startled. How do you learn? Reading, of course, Nangong Lee said and stood up, hurriedly rushed to the store, and soon came back with a secret book. Lu Changqing looked down. Miao Zhan dual cultivation method. Hiss. Lu Changqing felt that things were getting more and more wrong. As a person who cultivates immortality in Taoism, I feel that we still have to hurry up. The words have not yet fallen. Nangong Lee just sat cross-legged, clicked on enlightenment, and started learning directly. Lu Changqing waited in the private room for a while, but she didn't show any signs of understanding. 2. It only takes one day to realize this kind of thing. How can it be so fast? Lu Changqing also has something to do. As the most important protective magic weapon, the soul jade must be refined as soon as possible. Click on the magic weapon refining interface. Byte. Putting in spiritual stones can increase the refining efficiency by 30%. This cost is necessary. Magic weapon. Unlike magic weapons, it takes a lot of effort to refine. Of course, it's also very expensive. The higher the grade of the magic weapon, the more difficult it is to refine. If the magic weapon has a spirit and does not recognize you, it will take a lifetime of refining and you will not be able to master it. Think of this. In order to complete the refining as soon as possible, Lu Changqing directly put in the 10 low-grade spiritual stones harvested yesterday. Tisk tisk. This is good stuff. Even if you are practicing in seclusion, you may not be willing to use inferior products. But this soul jade is worth it. Byte. When you were refining the magic weapon, the golden entry was loaded. Tianxin enters the way will not be rejected by any magic weapon, and the magic weapon refining efficiency increases by 300%. Byte. When you use the spirit stone, the golden entry is loaded. 10 times the spiritual energy, the amount of spiritual energy contained x 10. Although the spiritual stones do not increase the efficiency, the increased spiritual energy can save a lot of spiritual stones. Lu Changqing concentrated on refining, and the refining progress on the interface slowly increased. 1%, 5%. At the same time, Lu Yun Immortal Pavilion. Lu Chenshui and Wan Yu leaned against the windowsill, looking at the golden characters of Heavenly Tao in the city, in a daze. A long time. Wan Yu finally spoke. Miss, is it too late for me to regret it now? Lu Chenshui smiled proudly. Of course it's too late. Wow, Wan Yu regretted it to death. The lady is lying, she said she was just going over there to have a look. As a result, if you don't come out for a few hours, a handsome young man with destiny and immortality will become yours. Destiny and immortality. Of course Lu Chenshui knew the importance of destiny. But it's only been a few days. He set a new dungeon record that had not been loosened in Linhai City for thousands of years. Such a cultivation level is no longer something that can be explained by a golden destiny. With such immortal resources, there is hope for golden elixir. If there were another breakthrough, it would be something that even she would not dare to think about. Nangong Lee. Lu Chenshui looked up again and saw the slightly smaller gold characters behind Lu Changqing. She frowned slightly and said, "Wanner, stop making trouble. Go and check if this is the little princess of the Nangong family." "What if it is?" Wan Yu said a little warily. "The Nangong family is quite powerful." Snort. "Don't mention the rumors that she has a long-standing engagement with Feng Yaocheng, so what if she doesn't?" Lu Chenshui raised her eyebrows, held her jade palms empty, and said domineeringly, "She is just an ignorant little girl, will I be afraid? Go on, go home and get the box on my bedside." "Yeah, Wanner is going now. After Wan Yu leaves." Lu Chenshui thought over and over again, but finally couldn't settle down. While pacing, she subconsciously walked to the table. A delicately carved jade box exudes a faint aura of pure spirit. Lu Chenshui reached out and slowly opened it. What was seen inside was a small sword-shaped jade medal. Sword Order. There are very few people in the world who know this order. Because Jian Zong rarely issues this order to outsiders. The one who takes orders. Even the sword sect, which is famous throughout Qingyan State, must do something for you. Original. Lu Chenshui planned to join the sword sect with this order. Pity, she has never been able to get out of the Shanj business. Time flies. 6 years have passed. Lu Chenshui held the sword in hand and took another look at the dazzling golden characters in the sky, without hesitation. He waved his hand and waved a Luyun flying sword, and his figure flashed out of the window. He disappeared into the sea of clouds in the blink of an eye. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.